JAN.28.2026.com. All right, we'll start with the Beckham stuff. Cruz and Romeo Beckham posted a TikTok allegedly throwing shade at their estranged older brother, Brooklyn. The now deleted TikTok saw the brothers in the car with their respective girlfriends, Jackie Apostle and Kim Turnbull, with a caption that said, and I'm quoting this, "Imagine hating and we're just here like."
Yeah. Well said. Imagine hating and we're here like.
And we're just here like.
We're just here like.
And it's not like, and we're just here like ... leaving it like that. That's a complete full sentence. Imagine hating and we're just here like. That's apparently throwing shade.
Yeah.
The TikTok didn't stick around long as
I better take that down.
Netizens
before someone understands it.
But this offense is just too overwhelming.
God, what did I do?
What did I do? I should have waited and thought about it.
Don't worry, buddy.
Netizens made immediate connections to their family's recent fallout with Brooklyn. The couples were in Paris for...
I just made a huge mistake.
You better call the lawyers. They were in Paris for their mother Victoria's knighting.
We need a circuit judge on this one. Who do we have in our pocket?
Her knighting for the Order of Arts and Letters. The social media move follows the Beckham family drama with Brooklyn denouncing his parents, David and Victoria. And he claimed in the bombshell Instagram posts that his parents have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed and blah, blah, blah. So.
These are the kids of people who achieved. Mm-hmm. It's like, come on.
Imagine hating and we're just here like. So. All right, so let's see. We told you yesterday that Blindside actor Quentin Aaron, he played Michael Orr in the movie, was on life support after contracting what was described as a blood infection. TMZ says that the family sources have provided an update. The actor's doctors have reportedly found a rare cyst on his spine. The cyst was discovered after a series of tests, and now they are running more exams to determine whether it's benign or not. Doctors are telling the family that back surgery is a possibility, and if that happens, Aaron will face extensive physical therapy and could be confined to a wheelchair for some time.
Isn't this wild that he loses 200 pounds?
Yeah.
And when he really starts to encounter medical issues, is after the weight loss.
Yeah, he does something that's really healthy. He was very overweight, and then all of a sudden this falls on him. On top of the blood infection that landed him in the ICU, he's now got this to deal with. So hopefully it will be a good prognosis and it will be benign and something they can remove and he can move on. We'll see about that. All right, I was really happy to see this story this morning. The Simpsons are celebrating their 800th episode and they've invited some of their friends to the party. The episode called Irrational Treasure will follow the Simpsons and the whole family on a bumpy road trip to Pennsylvania. So it's only natural that the guest voices all have ties to the Keystone State and the birthplace of America. Entertainment Weekly revealed the milestone episode will have guest voices Quinta Brunson and Kevin Bacon.
It's great.
The Pit stars Noah Wiley and Catherine Lanazza and Tyler Dearden.
Wait, is Noah Wiley's from Pennsylvania?
No, but the Pit takes place in Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'm an idiot.
As well as Questlove and R&B legends Boys to Men are reimagining the iconic Simpsons opening theme song as well as the end credits music for the episode, which is awesome. They're really diving into this area for a huge 800th episode milestone,
so it makes you think about who they're leaving out.
Right.
Who else could be added to the list?
That's so cool. I love The Simpsons so much.
So the comedy is ready to pull out all the stops for the landmark episode. The Simpsons 800th episode will air on February 15th, so that's a good one. So let's see here. All right, this is interesting. I've not seen the movie Hamnet. Has anybody seen it? It's up for awards.
I've had an omelet.
Yeah. No, my wife.
Very good.
My wife and daughter went and saw it. They raved about it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
It's literally Shakespeare's
life
and the tragedy that befell him.
Correct. So I'll describe a little bit about that. But the director, Chloe Zhao, is working on a side hustle and one that's connected to Hamnet. If you haven't seen it, the movie's about William Shakespeare and his family dealing with the death of his young son. Due to her involvement with the film and its examination of grief, Zhao has since been training to work as a death doula. And that's someone who provides personalized and compassionate support to individuals, families, and their circles of care as they encounter and navigate death.
We had someone on the show who did that.
Yeah.
And actually would sing to them.
Yes.
Zhao explains that not only did the firm's theme point her in this direction, but she has personal reasons for undergoing the training. She said, because I have been terrified of death my whole life, and I still am.
I think that's an amazing thing. To also run at it.
Yeah.
Something that terrifies you so much. And then in so doing, because
it's admirable.
Whenever it's akin to when you get a horrible diagnosis or cancer or anything, and you're like, what do I do? When you're going through that end stage of life, if you can have someone who helps, usher you through, to put you at ease, to calm you, to know what to look for.
Right.
That's a great gift to give to someone.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan Reynolds is rumored to be focused on Deadpool 4, at least sources, according to sources for Puck, which is kind of like an insider website. Marvel has not confirmed Deadpool's next appearance in the MCU, and Reynolds isn't attached to Avengers Doomsday, but fans think it's only a matter of time before the character pops up again, considering the Deadpool and Wolverine pulled him over $1.3 billion at the global box office. The actor told Extra TV back in 2024 that he would love a fourth movie, but said he needs a break after the film consumed his life.
Yeah, well, it is so richly written. It's line-a-palooza.
Yeah.
So you need to take multiple sweeps at a script to infuse it with that much stuff.
It is so... All of them are so smartly written. I was watching... It just popped up on TV as I was, kind of scrolling through the channels the other day, and like just line after line after line was just hitting it. Every single one. They write it so well. It's just,
I love it.
It's impressive. All right, this is cool. Dirty Dancing is finally getting a real sequel, and Jennifer Grey is going to be a part of it. Real fans of the original 1987 hit film know that a prequel, Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, came out in 2004, actually featured Patrick Swayze in a small role as a dance instructor, but a true sequel has long been rumored, only to remain just that, a rumor. And now we get to find out what happened to Frances Baby Hausman after her pivotal summer at Kellerman's.
And I love the idea here because they explain her nose, saying she did a pirouette too quickly and it flew off.
It just it flew off?
Yeah.
Wasn't like cut or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
She got so good at dancing that she achieved that kind of speed that actually launched it off her face.
I saw her in person one time. It was on a red carpet somewhere, and I was like, wow, her nose really does look different.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, so much so that it stole her career.
I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
After Lionsgate Studio made the announcement yesterday, Gray said, I've long wondered where we might find Baby years later and what her life might be like, but it's taken time to assemble the kind of people that I felt could be entrusted to build on the legacy of the original film. And I'm excited to say that it looks like the wait will be over.
I'd like to see her paired with Deadpool.
Production is expected to start later this year. So that's cool that they're going to follow up on that.
Preston, Deadpool and Baby.
Yeah.
It works.
It really does.
Yeah.
It would. Has he ever done a scene where he does the lift?
I mean,
That's
right?
tailor-made
It'd
for
be perfect.
a Deadpool
The
parody.
accident could be or have Wolverine do it so then the knives accidentally go through.
Yeah, as he's holding her up. That's a great
She's
idea.
not going anywhere.
What time period was that movie set in? Was it the 50s?
The 50s,
Late
early
50s.
60s?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson is taking over for the late Carl Weathers in the role of Combat Carl in the upcoming Toy Story 5. But he was one of the last people to know that he had gotten the part. Talking to TMZ, who asked when he found out when he got the gig, Hudson said, not until I actually started working. He said, and the studio didn't tell me, but the fans did. He said, the fans are amazing. They know more than I do. Ernie was also unaware that he was taking over for his late buddy. He said, I was very happy to be included, but I didn't know that I was stepping in for Carl, who was a good friend.
What a major loss. I mean, one of
he
our
was so
apps,
great.
I encourage you to listen, not because we're such great interviewers, but it was a damn good interviewer. Damn good interview, and Carl Weathers just showed up. He was just full of energy that day, and it was great.
I felt like a kid around him.
You were meeting
know?
Rocky royalty. I mean, and a character that is initially the nemesis, who is now a big support, and I got to say to him, "You're an honorary Philadelphian. You'll always be."
Yeah, without question. Toy Story 5 will hit theaters June 19th. Just a day prior to season 3's premiere, Apple TV has announced that the show will be returning for a 4th season. We're talking about Shrinking. The series starring Jason Segel and Harrison Ford tells the story of a grieving therapist who starts to break the rules and tell his clients exactly what he thinks with chaotic results. The hit series also stars Krista Miller, Jessica Williams, Luke Tenney, Michael Urie, Lukita Maxwell, and Ted McGinley. Season 3 of Shrinking consists of 11 episodes, the first of which debuts today. My youngest has not seen it, and we were like, man, I wish there was a show that we were watching right now because we've run out of stuff to watch. I'm like, well, let's dive into Shrinking. So we are about halfway through the first season, and I'm loving it all over again. We're going to go through the whole thing and eventually dive into this.
Are you going to wait for Are you going to wait for the episodes to accrue before you jump in?
Probably not.
Yeah.
We've become not patient enough to do that. Casey's doing that with The Pit right now.
Right,
yeah.
We're not patient enough to do it. We love the show so much.
I actually watched the first 2 episodes of The Pit.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I was very
So
curious
pitted.
about the boner. So,
Oh my! I tell you,
Priapism?
there's a guy who has priapism, and they show every bit of it. It's a medical condition. It's wild.
but they're also touching it.
Oh.
Totally. They have to. They have to. They have to drain. Well, I don't want
Dragon.
to. They got to drain the blood. It's pretty wild. I was very surprised, and I had a hard time watching that scene too,
Yeah,
man.
I was
Just
like,
I don't see it.
needles
Was it?
and-
It looks like it hurts.
Was it impressive?
It was not unimpressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I don't
so-
think it was real though.
No, it wasn't real,
yeah.
but I don't think so unless that actor is very, very talented and actually did overdose on
Can you
Viagra.
bend your penis for this scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we put a little hat on it? Draw a face? All right. And then one last story. Preparations for the Super Bowl are in full swing with more and more ads being teased ahead of the big game. We have some audio to play with this, Casey. Yesterday, Lady Gaga, Kendall Jenner, Emma Stone, and Yorgos Lanthimos, Pete Davidson, Elise Hewitt, Andy Cohen, and Andy Samberg all dropped teasers for their Super Bowl ads. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the Lady Gaga one made me cry.
Oh, really?
It's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And she's got a phenomenal voice.
She is singing "Won't You Be My Neighbor" from Mr. Rogers. Now the ad is for Redfin, for the state platforms Rocket and Redfin, and I'm going to play a little bit of this for you because I thought it was beautiful.
Let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Please, won't you be my neighbor?
Man, she can sing.
That's a perfect pitch, sounds like.
goodness.
She's
Wow.
unbelievable.
Yeah. So there's that one, and also Kendall Jenner, as I said.
No, I just adore her.
She is
Super talent.
Fanatics Sportsbook. So she apparently pokes fun at her NBA execs and the Kardashian curse.
Right. When they
I don't
date
know what-
athletes, the athletes' careers tend to tank.
Yeah, I don't know what we have isolated here, but let's play it. This is Kendall.
Any basketball player who dates me kind of hits a rough patch.
While the world's been talking about it,
I've been betting on it. How else do you think I can afford all this? Modeling?
So the conceit is that she dates these people purposefully,
And then she placed the
then
bets.
she bets against them, and that's how she got wealthy.
Emma Stone does a spot for Squarespace. Pete Davidson is partnering up with Sonic. Andy Cohen is with Nerds Candy. Andy Samberg and Hellman's Mayonnaise do a Neil Diamond-inspired Sweet Caroline, and Elle Fanning makes a cameo in that. And Adrian Brody is teamed up with TurboTax for those ads. It's pretty wild, and this has become very, very common over the last several years, but you see the commercials way in advance of the game.
Exactly. And I don't find it to be the thing it once was. I think a lot of people agree.
And that would be the only thing making me excited for the Super Bowl. And
Yeah.
I have no excitement. I can see the ads ahead of time.
Yeah.
Maybe the halftime show.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Bad Bunny and Green Day ahead of it. But
the
other
rest
than
of
that,
it?
no.
I know what you're saying.
Somebody asked me yesterday what I was doing, and I was like, you know what? I have no idea.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every year, even when the Eagles aren't in it, I'm very excited for the Super Bowl. Not this
So
year.
there's more of those are going to be rolling out over the next few days. So if you want to, keep an eye out for them. All right, we're ready to play some clips for you. Shrinking, as we were just talking about, centers around therapist who, after losing his wife, breaks ethical barriers and tells his parents exactly what he's thinking. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
I said that exact same thing a moment ago. And here, Jessica Williams, love her, details the chemistry with her castmates, almost like classmates. Here we go.
And I feel like especially in this season, we mix and match any of our, 2 or 3 characters and just got a really, really funny and tender scene. We have incredible writers that really sort of honed in on our dynamics.
Where it all gone what?
Season, maybe Nell goes there for therapy. Season 3 premiere of Shrinking is happening right now on Apple TV+.
I'm sorry, did you mention Michael J. Fox is on this season?
Is he?
Yes, he is. He's kind of giving
Harrison
therapy
Ford.
to Harrison Ford.
That's
because of
great.
the Parkinson's.
That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait. All right, next clip. Here we go. The Masked Singer keeps judges and viewers guessing who is singing beneath those elaborate costumes. And here, Rita Ora shares her thoughts on this season.
It's all about family as well. Like, anyone can watch it. It's full of ranges, especially the contestants. Like, this season, you guys, it is juicy. Like, there's so much happening.
I don't give a
New episode of Masked Singer is on tonight at 8 o'clock on Fox. It's still going.
It's just desperately horrible.
But it's got an audience. People are watching it, I guess.
Oh, it's from season 3. It's Lonnie from Farmer's Wives. Ah! What? Who are you?
I know. Yeah, I know. They all know. They know what's going on. All right, and that is the entertainment report for today, my friend. All right, we're going to check in with Fox Good Day this morning. We're going to have our buddy Derrick Pitts of the Franklin Institute on the show. Artemis 2, the rocket is on the pad, and they're running the tests, and they're going to be headed to the moon very soon. So obviously we'll check in with Derrick and talk all that stuff. We also have a new category for the Wmmammys, our version of the Grammys for rock categories only. And when we get back, because voting has been wrapped up just now for yesterday's category, we'll give you the new category and the nominees for the Whammies.
whammy.
Thank you. And we have Galentine's Day invites and a bunch more. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in just a moment. And you'll stay with us, right? Yeah, good. We'll be right back.
I'm a burger dude.
Well, the Kobe beef and Maine lobster burger will set you back $777.
For $770 for a burger.
Yeah, the burger has pancetta, goat cheese, seared foie gras, arugula, Maine lobster, and 100-year-old aged balsamic paired with a BLT salad. 100-year-old aged balsamic.
When they do that type of thing, like a 50-year-old bottle of wine, or like that, to me, it seems like a gimmick. Like, how much better can a 100-year-old balsamic vinegar be than a 5-year-old?
I know.
You know?
Right. So this also comes with a bottle of Rosé Dom Perignon champagne.
All right.
So that's, going to add to it as well. So you do get that little thing. Sometimes they'll have, a diamond-encrusted
chicken nuggets,
napkin holder or whatever.
These are diamond-encrusted chicken fingers.
In New York, Serendipity 3 has the Golden Opulence Sundae for $1,000.
No.
So this is clearly one of those ones that are festooned with gold, right? Gold leaves and stuff like that.
Yeah. So in this dish, Tahitian vanilla ice cream made with Madagascar vanilla bean is covered in 24-karat gold leaf, specialty chocolates, Parisian candied fruits.
Right this way, Mr. Elliott.
Truffles, caviar.
Your heavenly hash is waiting.
And more.
Snooty.
A Sunday of this.
Not.
Oh, that'll be a hoot. A sundae of this magnitude isn't served in a simple glass dish, but rather a Baccarat crystal bowl that you can take home as a souvenir. So there you go.
There you go.
And you can order. You have to order it at least 48.
But that's no big deal. I went to a place where you could take home the menu. It's all the best places to bass fish in Canada.
Yeah.
48 hours in advance. By the way, I watched an episode of is it Man vs. Food?
Yeah.
The guy that eats all, the huge.
Yes.
Well, they were doing a Philly episode. He went to Tony Luke's. There's like this freaking 5-pound sandwich that they make at Tony Luke's, and he ate it.
Freaking Tony Luke's.
But there was an ice cream joint that they featured on there in Philadelphia Oh my God, it looked amazing.
It wasn't like. Was it the one on Market Street in Old City?
It might be. These guys had like old timey mustaches, like old DeBella mustaches.
Is it
with the
Franklin-
curly Q
Was it
mustaches.
DeBella?
It's not
It wasn't
Franklin.
DeBella.
Franklin Fountain?
It might have been.
Yeah.
But wow, that like they make everything there from scratch. All the whipped cream and all the stuff. I really want, but they had one.
Wow.
They had a special dish that he ate. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. Franklin Fountain. But they had, I forgot what it was called. I forgot what it was that he ate, but I would like to have one.
Have you ever been here?
No.
It's a really cool place to go to.
I would like to go to.
Yeah.
There's always a line.
Oh,
Is
I
there
don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but absolutely everything in the establishment is made there.
Yeah, and it's really good. I mean, Kathy's right. Like, it's delicious stuff. It's pricey, and you're paying a bit for the experience. But
I don't care. You guys know ice cream is my
Would you
jam.
spend $1,000?
No.
Yeah.
No, I would not.
Pausing.
Hell no, I wouldn't.
No, come on. There's delicious ice cream you got that heavenly hash that Nick gave you.
But I
When he
do.
tried to kill you.
It's in the freezer.
tried to kill you.
I have some of that tomorrow. All right, let's get back to this list of other most expensive dishes in the world.
Everyone, Mr. Elliott is here.
Well, hang on. Let me go to, real quick, I'm going to go to Mike, who works in the restaurant industry, wants to talk about some of these high-end prices. Hey, Mike, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Ed. How are you today?
Good morning, buddy. I'm good. So what can you shed some light on here?
So a couple quick things. First off, I'm working in the industry and I'm pricing out food and that kind of thing. If we're paying, say, $10 a pound for chicken wings, that means 6 wings to a customer are going to be about $15 to $20.
Okay.
We got to make at least a triple return on an item in order to pay salaries. Kitchen cooks are making between.
Yeah. You got to pay the people that are putting this together for you. Sure.
Mike, is that a standard way of reckoning this, or has it gotten a little out of whack of late with the prices going up?
Well, so it's gone out of whack, but there's other things that restaurants do. So like hand-cut French fries cost nothing to make.
Yeah.
So an order of like a 6-ounce order of French fries, hand cut, including labor, costs a restaurant about $1. But your average price is about $6-7. But then they turn around and they sell a chicken breast on a salad for $5, and the cost of that chicken breast is about $3-4.
Okay. All right.
So they kind of, every restaurant kind of makes up in certain ways.
Okay. So what about $90 for how many chicken fingers was it? 16?
16 chicken
16
fingers.
chicken fingers. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Dude, that's just absolutely ridiculous. But Preston, as a connoisseur, I'm going to recommend that you go to Alinea in Chicago.
Ooh, okay.
One of the most amazing restaurants in the world. Researched the chef. He lost his palate through cancer. And then redeveloped his palate.
Whoa.
Amazing courses.
What's the cuisine, Mike?
Cost is
the cuisine of this restaurant.
People, for the name of the restaurant's Alinea.
Okay.
And cost per person is about $300, and that's not including any beverage.
Steve was asking what the cuisine is.
Oh, cuisine all over the place.
Okay.
It's hard to describe, but we got, when we had dessert, one of the dessert courses was a fruit roll-up kind of compote made into a helium-filled balloon with a spun sugar string. The entire thing was
Christ.
There was a bouquet of herbs hanging from the ceiling above a candle. We thought that was like instead of a flower or whatever. 6th course came around. They brought out a broth. They cut the bouquet off the thing. It had been toasting under the candle for the entire evening. They ground it up and put it into the broth. That was a soup course.
So it's a major
amazing
production. So they do all of this, and obviously this is the kind of thing that if you make it an event, you save up for it and you go and have a good time. But you're saying it's well worth it.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had dining in my entire life.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. We never heard of that.
We went to Gibson's while we were in Chicago and had a special meal there. That was pretty cool.
And Gibson's is really cool too.
Yeah.
And if you went to the bars, Aviary is the bar that's owned by Alinea in Chicago. There's also one in New York City too,
All right.
which is also incredible.
Cool.
Like cocktails and globed and ice balls, that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the heads up, Mike. We appreciate it.
Wow.
Have a good one,
Cheers,
man.
guys.
All right, we'll see you.
That's a whole higher end. But at least now there's a man who knows what he's talking about in the restaurant industry, and he says it's ridiculous to pay $90 for chicken fingers.
I was speaking about great restaurants. I got a text from our buddy Mark Summers the other day. He's on vacation, and he's taking this. Somebody had offered him this trip, and it's great. He's on this, this private yacht. And
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember he was talking about it.
And he's in. He sent me a picture. It said at Positano. I'm not sure where that is.
Italy.
Yeah.
In Italy. Okay.
Yeah.
So then he sent me a picture. It said best restaurant I have ever been to. And if anybody knows restaurants,
it's him.
Mark Summers. And the restaurant is called Le Scoglio de Tommaso.
That's Italian for Burger King.
Oh, is that what it is? But he says the best restaurant he's ever been to.
Wow.
He was just there. I saw some of his social media posts. I was in Positano years ago, and it was probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to.
Nice.
You went on your honeymoon, right? Or is that a different time?
Yeah, it's the first husband.
It's a really good question. Wait, hold on. Let me think about this for a second.
All right. The other super duper expensive meals that you can find in the world, there's one at Sublimotion in Ibiza. It's called Sublimotion. And you will pay for a dinner about $1,757, it says here.
We're talking a dinner per person, right?
It is it is a 3-hour dining experience.
That comes with an accountant?
$1,700 per person. That's more than the average family will spend in an entire month on food.
I don't want to be there for 3 hours, though. That's the thing. Like, 2 hours max.
Yeah, but if you're spending $1,700, I want to be there for the weekend.
Yeah.
Where are the good $1,700 fast food places?
So they said they create a spectacle for the eyes, ears, and taste buds. Music and art go along with the 15 to 20 course tasting menu. Want to talk to somebody who's had a really, really expensive meal?
Yeah.
We got Kelly on the line. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning, bitches. What's up?
Hey, bitch. All right. So you went to a super duper expensive restaurant. What was it?
So it's called Dick Frutar. It's in Barcelona, Spain. And my husband and I went on our honeymoon. And at the time, it was not ranked as high, but currently it's the number 3 restaurant in the world.
Okay.
Wow.
And what did you have?
So we actually went for lunch, and we had what they called the Grand Prix menu, and that was 36 courses.
Okay.
It was insane. Like, there was,
How are you still hungry?
4 of the courses alone were dessert.
Okay.
So it was
Casey's
just
on board.
And like the past caller just said, it's just so gastro. The things that they give you are so completely out of the box. I sat down and I cried because it's a Michelin-starred restaurant, and it has always been my dream to go to one at least. And it was like at the end, dessert was okay. So it was like vanilla bean cotton candy, but they brought it out on what looked like an old cotton, like you would pick cotton off of a field.
Okay.
It was insane. Yeah. So, but let me tell you this though. So one course they bring out this insane, like old, aged scotch, right? And they present this bottle to you, and they ask you to put out your hands, and they pour some into your hands. Well, me being the ignorant American, I slurped it up and drank it, and you were supposed to wash your hands with it so that way
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Really
That's
funny.
great. By the way, those mints in the latrine were delicious. Kelly, I would have thought the exact same
Totally.
thing.
You're thinking, it's a different culture. This is the way they do this. They're going to
so
drink it this
funny.
way. It's an aged scotch for crying out loud.
It was too good to not try. Like, why am I washing my hands with it?
Oh my God! So what was the final cost per person?
So it was like a little. It was more than our mortgage payment. It was about 17 and change.
Wow.
Yeah,
But you were there for your honeymoon, right? So you it was part of a dream come true, correct?
Oh yeah, it went on a credit card and maxed it out immediately.
$1,700.
Was it worth it?
It was very lost on my husband, but he was a trooper, and he tried a lot of things. But for me, as a chef,
yesterday for the Wmmammys, we announced a new category, which was Rock Song of the Year, and we have a new category to announce right now. Whammy! And the voting is up and running for the rock tour of the year. Wow. All right, so I'll explain a little bit about rock tour of the year. It doesn't necessarily mean a tour that came through Philadelphia. This is just rock bands that are touring the world as we speak. And some of these tours have dragged on for a long time, but still, it's a rock tour that took place in the year. And you can go to PrestonandSteve.com and vote. And I'll rattle off the nominees for you. You have Oasis for the Live 25 tour, Linkin Park from Zero World tour, Metallica for the M72 World tour, Guns N' Roses for their Because What You Want and What You Get tour. You have Coldplay with the Music of the Spheres World tour. My Chemical Romance, Long Live the Black Parade tour. You had The Who, The Song Is Over tour. Ghost with Skeletor. Eric Clapton with his world tour. 9 Inch Nails Peel It Back tour. Disturbed for the Thickness 25.
I feel so thick.
Then we have just 2 more. Deftones, North American Tour 2025, and David Byrne for the American Utopia
So
tour.
that's a good collection of tours. I wonder if people might be motivated for the most notorious incident to take place at a tour at the Coldplay show.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was a tour where the couple was spotted cheating.
I think the one that vibed for me as what I was feeling from everybody as far as like a big deal tour this year was probably the Oasis because it was a reunion.
Yeah, and no one thought it would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my son, my daughter, and my wife all went, and because they, like, Seamus big time got into Oasis last year.
That's
big
cool.
time. I think it might even be his favorite band right now.
So and the show lived up to his expectations.
Yep,
All right,
no doubt.
So Marissa, you want to place my vote for me?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
I'll do the Oasis tour.
Okay.
But this is it, and Marissa just voted for me. She's pulled up the official
That's
account.
how easy
for
it is.
And that's how easy done. You don't have to
you
sign
didn't
up.
need to surrender power of attorney.
You click on the page, and then you click on the band. That's it. So we're just asking you to do that. If you would, please go to PrestonandSteve.com and look up the Wmmammys.
I have to give a shout out to the David Byrne tour, which was amazing. I got a last minute, like 1 hour before the show, invite from Pierre. It's the final show that we went to together.
Wow.
And he even said it was the best concert of the year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so vote if you can, please. We'd appreciate that. I want to double back to a story we had in the news this morning. It was about a dog. His name is Benji. And he went missing and was gone for about 48 hours. A rescue dog. I actually got an email from a woman named Samantha yesterday telling me about it and how the dog was very skittish. And when people were out looking for him, the request was not to approach him or to call his name because he would only run away. And I'm like, well, how the hell are you gonna get an animal like that? You know? But apparently a drone was used. This is a guy named Rick Rotondo. Photography and Lost Pet Thermal Drone Search.
This is a great idea.
And they used a drone and they canvassed the area and they tracked down this dog. It was in, they lived in Fishtown, but they found the dog in Kensington. He was like a half mile away and fortunately got into like an alleyway, I guess, or an area where the dog couldn't get any further. And the owner walked up to him and very cautiously brought him in and got him back, which is fantastic.
So the thermal thing leads to like Predator, Pet Detective.
Yeah.
Like, right? I mean, the fact that they were able to do that with the drones and this in locating humans and locating lost pets, this opens up a whole new industry and world.
Yeah. Whenever I go to the vet, and you guys see it too, you always see that bulletin board with missing pets up there. I feel so bad for those people, and some of them have been up for a long time.
Yeah.
And the part of the reason being is because every now and then, in a bizarre file story, I'll have some dog 3 years later is in Vermont from here that they found.
Yeah. Was it Jim McGuinn whose cat was packed into the back of a moving truck accidentally?
His cat, Homer, when they were moving from St. Louis to here, climbed up in the moving van, got all cozy. They couldn't find him. They had to leave. They had a deadline.
Yeah.
And the cat moved here in the freaking van, in the truck.
But it's heart-wrenching.
Oh, my God.
You talk about a skittish animal.
Yeah.
And so we have, we've had as many at one time as 10, 11 cats in the house that are all rescues, fosters.
Yeah.
we have a cat currently named Foster. We've had it for years. When he came into the house, he came from a cat colony, and he was very skittish. Well, he was the kind of cat that would bolt for the door. He got out one time in particular. And the thing that you do, the thing that we've learned over time is they stay in the area where they're familiar with food.
Right.
So I left the doors open so that, the windows were there. We kind of let cooking smells out. And eventually I walked into the kitchen and he was there like, I don't like it out here.
Really?
Yeah. But I opened the door case because that still wasn't a guarantee. Like with Benji. Yeah. I slowly opened the door and I'm like looking away. And I grabbed him and whatever I caught, I threw into the kitchen. Because there was no, it's now or never.
Yeah. You guys remember Cecily Tynan's dog not that long ago. It's been like maybe
about a year?
2 or 3 years ago, maybe. Took off. And I think what ended up happening is it got caught underneath like a
table,
a swimming pool, or maybe
on their
like
property, right?
It was close.
That's right.
It was something that was flipped over. It might have been like a table, or something along those lines.
Didn't Jackson lose his dog in Narberth one time? And Bill Weston was looking for it or something.
Hello?
Yeah.
Here, Poochie.
Doggy dog.
I don't know why it's not coming to me.
And that dog, just got stuck in between like two retaining walls or something along those lines. And it, again, wasn't far from their house.
Yeah.
And this dog wasn't that far from the house, but it's sort of a densely populated area.
Yeah, it was definitely in a city, just on an empty lot, found his way in, made himself comfortable. I was following along for most of this. I was probably because it was during the snowstorm, so everyone was banding together and following the stories and the things that the owners were posting every step of the way, kind of describing things going on with Benji, yes, and asking for help. And we're kind of like, can anyone print 1,000 flyers right now? We'll pay you. Does anybody have Vienna sausages in the Kensington area? And we will pay you for them. Can you just start grilling them on your own home grill? Because the smell is going to put it out there for the dog. It's very sweet.
Wow. And you know, a lot of times it's funny that, like you said, that in these couple of occasions we were talking about, is that they weren't that far away. Right. It doesn't take that far away before an animal can be lost. I mean, where you think you've looked everywhere, and you really haven't. And I mean, just a few 100 square yards or whatever, a radius of that far can be a lot of ground to cover.
It might as well be the Amazon.
Yeah.
Because there are areas that you don't know. I remember in one area in particular, this is many apartments ago, neighbor had lost their pet. They did not know that their other neighbor had a cat door. Oh. It was a cat around the other side, and the cat was actually in this house. The people didn't know the cat had moved in with them. So they're looking for this animal, and the cat's fine, but it's in the neighbor's house now.
I remember when I was a kid, we found a dog. I believe the dog's name was Peach, and it had a little on its collar the phone number of its owners. And I was so bummed because I thought we had just gotten a dog. I thought, we just found this dog. But we called them, and they came and got the...
What if I were to conveniently lose this number?
Yeah.
So we had a cat when we were growing up. It was I would call him our legendary pet. Okay, so we've all had multiple pets.
Yes,
but some stand out more than others do. And this was our cat Taffy. He just had this personality he was a badass. He was a stud. He was banging all the other cats in the neighborhood probably. But anyhow, we had one day he was missing, and I was a kid. He was gone. I never really asked my parents about it, but I think they took him to a farm. Other cats could play and dogs. Run on and have all these friends. But anyway, so Taffy was missing as far as I was concerned, or gone. And I was walking down the street or riding my bike or whatever, and I was, Steve, it was like that movie Grand Canyon where the woman finds the baby in the shrubs.
Yeah.
I found what I thought was Taffy. It was the same orange-colored cat. On it in the side of the road, it had been injured and had like a chunk taken out of its back, like a car had clipped him or something like that.
Right.
So I go in and I'm like, oh my God, it's Taffy. I found him. I scoop him up. I take him home. And my parents are like, I don't know if that's him or not. My parents know the cat's dead, but they're not going to tell me. Okay. So we take the cat to the vet. We get him patched up. Guess what? We have a new cat. And we had him until
this was
he
Taffy
died.
too?
Yeah, no, it became clear after a while that he was not the same cat.
Sometimes bad is better.
I figured it out, and so we named him Lucky because he was lucky to be alive.
Right.
I was a kid. I gave him a cat name. But I'm sure my dad wasn't happy about it because he was probably glad to be rid of pets at the time. And I dragged this injured one back into the house.
That's like meet the parents.
Oh my God, Jinx!
Yeah, he paints the one.
That's right.
Well, you talk about animals being lost in the neighborhood. I assume this is for suburban dogs too, but like my friend's dog, when he leaves the house, he knows the neighborhood so well that like if she walks out and she's turning left, it's a short walk.
Okay.
If he turns right, it's a long walk.
Yeah.
If you go straight, you're walking past the bar that has bones and you
Okay.
get a treat along your walk. So every once in a while, she has to like fight him and be like, no, I have to get to work. Like it has
Right.
to be a short walk and you're walking around. But
They will
like
know
their
they-
sensibility, their little brains.
They're like I've had dogs that could lead themselves on walks. The difference is though, even an animal will get disoriented, or if they're used to walking with someone.
Right.
I mean, their ability to smell and everything is astonishing, and they can track things. Obviously, that's what we know about them. But when an animal's out and this is kind of strange and disoriented, it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, first off, it just kills you as a pet owner.
Yeah. Maris, when we would take the dog to the vet when I was younger, they loved going in the car.
Mm-hmm.
But if you made these two turns, it knew exactly where we were headed.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, totally. They would get scared.
Where the hell are we going?
And when Reggie was a puppy, I took him for a walk in Ridley Creek State Park, and so it was just like an up and back type of walk. When we were coming back, I let him lead the way. He led the way all the way back to the car. And he didn't know where he was, and I think he just followed the scent. I let him pick every single turn on the walk.
Watch
back.
the Netflix. They did two, one on cats and one on dogs. Obviously, it seems the obvious. The dog's ability to pick up scent for as long as they are, the residual scent can like for days and days and days. I mean, it's just astonishing their abilities.
I had mentioned the the flyers that you'll see at the vet, and sometimes they're there for a really long time. I wonder if anybody has a long time span story to share of the pet gone missing to the pet being found. If you've got one, 610-660-9333. I know there was a story from my mom's childhood. There was a dog that I think that my grandfather took and let go.
Oh, really?
And this is back in it's like the 40s, or whatever. But anyhow, like a year later, the dog comes back scratching at the back door.
But you got rid of me, didn't you?
Yep. I'm probably off on the timelines on that stuff, but I remember pieces of that story. Hang on. I have a few calls. We're going to go to Wayne. First of all, hi, Wayne. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, bud?
So my wife. So my wife and I were out walking one day, and we came across a dog that was all by itself. So we approached it cautiously, looked at the tag, and we noticed that the address was about 3/4 to a mile away. So we're like, okay, let's do the right thing. We'll call the number to get this dog back. So call the number, no one answers. So now we're sitting here with this dog, and we're thinking, well, let's go to the address, right? So it's on the tag. We go to the address. We get there. So we load the dog up, get there, knock on the door, no one's there. So now, what do we do with this dog? We figure we'll go back to our house and just hold on to it for a little bit longer. About 45 minutes later, we get a call from the person we originally called, and we told him, hey, we have your dog. Your dog must have gotten loose. And he goes, oh, well, my mom's dog sitting for me. And I was like, well, where does she live? I want to drop the dog off. So it turns out his mom lived right next door to us. So we basically found this dog we thought was missing. We took it to a different location thinking we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It turns out that it was actually right next to where it was supposed to be.
Wow.
So you dog napped it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what we joke about to this day, is that we basically abducted this dog that was doing nothing but, hanging out in its yard.
Yeah, pretty much where it was supposed to be. That's funny.
Yeah.
You did a good thing, though. You tried.
Yeah, you did the right thing. Most definitely. All right. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. I'm going to go to Holly here real quick. Hi, Holly. You are on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Holly?
Wonderful morning in the cold. We lost our cat several years ago for 17 days. And we even had somebody kind enough to bring out search dogs looking for this cat. We had signs all over the neighborhood. Everybody was looking for this cat. Finally, it turns out the whole time he was right behind our house in a lumberyard.
Get out.
So,
out.
Yeah.
So he was your yard was adjacent to a lumber yard. Hello.
On
Okay.
4th of July weekend. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
Occasionally we can hear you, Holly. But we'll thank you for your call anyhow. You're breaking up. All right. Were you going to say something, Dave?
Yeah. Years ago when we moved into our Manayunk house,
yeah,
there were feral cats, a couple cat colonies. So we captured them, got them fixed, and we thought they were all feral. Because they were always out and about. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then one day, this old neighbor who lived 2 houses over goes, I don't know what the hell happened. My cat had some sort of surgery done.
You guys took it as cat.
So Claire and I.
Did it have not have? I guess it didn't have a collar on.
It didn't have a collar.
You can't do that.
And it hadn't been fixed. So, yeah.
Okay.
Curious what the cost is. She said she had search dogs looking for it.
Yeah.
This other Bernese dog, they had this drone. Like, I know you spend anything for your animals, but what kind of cost does that entail?
Well, yeah, and you said it. We've all said it. You would basically go broke because you love your animals so much, and it's what you do. I'm curious as if the gentleman that you mentioned that did this in the story, I've heard of other people starting to do this.
Yeah.
And I wonder how that industry is progressing, if people are getting work. Because you always see lost pets.
Yeah.
That's why also the importance of microchipping.
Yeah.
And you've had stories where those animals that end up, Preston, 5 states away who are microchipped can get returned.
I will go next to Amy. Hi, Amy. Morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Amy?
So, we had a cat, George, that was gone for 41 days.
41 days.
We looked for him and everything. We did everything we could to try to find him. And then one day he just walked in the back door like nothing was wrong and walked over to his food bowl and had a bite to eat.
And he wasn't all like, oh, my God. The stories I have to tell.
I've been to Peru.
Right? He did have one of his legs was stuck through his collar. So he was obviously not at someone's house or being cared for. It was stuck like up to his shoulder. So we had to cut it off and take him to the vet. And everything.
Wow.
But he lived to be 20 years old.
Wow.
Happy as a clam.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And had that mystery getaway adventure that
What
you'll
did
never
you do?
know. Yeah.
Had a nice vacation.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it.
Years ago,
Have
when
a great one.
the GoPros got small enough and the micro cameras, somebody did attach.
to a dog, right?
Yeah, to see where they went.
I know. I did enjoy. I've seen a couple of those. And they are. It's an
Where are you
interesting.
going?
It's an interesting look on a day in the life of a dog.
We have one cat that the vet told us, Mia, who is supposed to be let out because that's just it. She psychologically, he said, all our other cats stay in. They live longer if you do that. There's a lot of predators out there, but this cat stays within the yard. And so Preston occasionally, at 11 o'clock at night, if in the summer, not in the winter, she's not out, but she'll go out and spend the night outside those enclosures, and I'll get an alert, and I'll just see her looking in the camera, I'm out here.
Yeah. If you're just tuning in, we were talking about a local story about a dog that was missing for a couple of days. Benji was his name, and they found him in Kensington using a heat-seeking drone.
Yeah,
and tracked him down. So it was the night of the storm that the dog goes missing.
So you've got to be just going out of your mind.
Yeah, and how difficult it is to get out in that weather and look around. I'm going to go to Rich, who's joining us next. Hey, Rich, morning buddy.
Good morning to see you.
Thank you, sir. What's up, bud?
My cat. It was actually my son's cat, which is mine now because he's off in the Air Force right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it went missing for 29 days.
Man, all right. So
we searched.
What did you do? What did you do first? You just do you get on Facebook? You alert the neighbors? You put out flyers?
Yeah, well, his girlfriend found an app or found something online.
Yeah.
I'm computer illiterate, so I don't know. Found something online with missing animals, so they kept looking at that. But we live around a lot of woods, so me and my son spent days just walking through woods and calling.
Yeah.
And just could never find it.
And so did it, when the cat returned, it just came to the house and there's business as usual.
No, we actually found him. My son's girlfriend, like one last time, like 27, 28 days later, looked one last time, and here looks like my son's cat on Ron Jaworski's Running Deer golf course.
Oh my God. I've been there. That's like in Millville, right?
It's in Pittsgrove. It's near Parkman State Park.
Okay. And so was Jaws there sitting with the cat, petting him?
No, we actually got pictures of the cat attending a wedding.
They have weddings at the golf courses. They actually Jaworski's courses are these wedding venues.
Oh my
That's
God!
so funny.
The cat
Rich.
wanted to attend a wedding.
Outdoor wedding. He's sitting on a wooden bench during the wedding, and the picture was of a lady taking a picture of Tigger. So another woman was taking the picture while this other lady's taking a picture of our cat.
That's funny.
So my son went out there like 7 o'clock in the morning, and he pulls up, and there was one kid there that worked there, and the first two, I guess, golfers that just showed up. My son pulled up, got out of the car, said, "Tigger," and that cat turned around, looked at him, and beelined right to him.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was incredible. Incredible.
That's a great story, Rich. Appreciate it. So 29 days. Yeah, there was this gal in St. Louis who she worked for the SPCA who dog went missing. Man, she carried on that search 6, 7, 8 years, like never gave up on it. Yeah, 6, 7. I said it. Yeah.
Did it yield any result?
No.
No.
And I feel really, really bad.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you want to hang on because, like I said, there are those stories. Like, let me go to this story here. Hang on, there was one. Let me go to Melissa. Hi, Melissa. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
My brother's cat was missing for 16 years before they found him.
16 years.
That's an entire life for some cats.
Yeah, he was 18 when they found him. After they found him, he lived for another year or two, I believe. But he escaped the house. Neighbor thought they saw him jump in the back of someone else's pickup truck. He was missing for a long time. Turns out he was shacked up with a feral colony, and local was feeding him. And then he was injured one day, so she took him to the vet. And because he was chipped, they were able to get a hold of my brother.
Wow. So he was living kind of a rogue
Like
lifestyle.
a Jack Kerouac kind of life.
He was on the road.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Wow.
Actually, he was attending a bar mitzvah, Preston.
Do you know if when he was returned, if like he fell right back into recognizing, your brother and everything?
They said he seemed to be happy to be home, but didn't seem to recognize them.
Okay. I mean, it's a long.
You've put on weight.
I mean, that's a long time.
16 years.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, sometimes that's a good, healthy life for a cat.
Yeah. All right. Wow, that's pretty
Right?
wild.
It's all
Jeez.
over the news in Delaware.
Oh, no doubt. 16 years.
Melissa, what was the cat's name?
Ritz.
Ritz. That's a cute name. I wasn't sure if it had an ironic name.
That's why the microchipping. That's why the microchipping.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. Wow.
So when I was a kid, we used to just, and like thinking about it, it's like we just used to let our dog out, right? At one point we had a fence and he would just jump the fence and take off. But like, that's how we let him. We would just open the back door. He would just walk out. He would go do his business wherever the freak he wanted. And sometimes he'd come right back in. And then other times I remember just standing in the middle of the street, just waiting, for half hour, 45 minutes just for him to come home. And he always came home.
Yeah. As a kid, we had our cats they were outdoor pets.
Yeah.
They were out running around doing whatever they wanted to do.
Every now and then he would come home smelling like horrible. No,
Like alcohol.
Like rotten fish. I'm like, what the hell did you get into?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it happened, I would say, at least 10 times. I'm like, what? Where the hell have you been?
Years and years ago, when we had cats at the house, they would come in and out. It was part of the deal, And then you learn, especially in the areas that we're living now. But we also had a sandbox.
Yeah. Oh, so the cats would use the sandbox.
And there was always a risk you ran.
I'm going to go next to John. Man, we have a lot of calls coming in. Hi, John. You're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, so we have a house down in the villas, and our cat Bob went missing. And Bob had a unique physical attribute. He had gigantic testicles. I mean, really big, almost like golf ball size.
Wow.
So Bob goes missing. We're all freaking out. We're doing it. We do a whole, full yard neighborhood search. Go on the bay. Go all the way over to Wildwood. Nothing. 3 years later, my father and I are up in Hamilton going to work. We pull into a Wawa, and I look over at the dumpster, and I go, "Damn, Dad, doesn't that look like Bob?" He looks over, and I was like, "It does." And he goes, "Well, there's only one way we'll know."
Okay.
Bob turns around, and guess what? It's Bob.
Oh, golf ball nuts.
Bob's big balls.
Bob is there. We open up the car door. We say, "Hey, Bob, get in the car." Bob walks over, jumps in the back, goes to sleep. We call out of work, drive back home, put him in the village. He lives another 10 years in the house.
That's amazing.
All right, so, John, how long was he missing?
He was missing for 3 years.
3 years.
That's crazy.
And what was crazy was just a simple call of his name, and he gets right in the car and goes home with us.
So the two options you're suggesting are microchipping and get a cat with huge balls.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Guess what? I got the microchip. She's got me beat on years, but I got the big balls.
I like it. I love it. All right, that's great, John. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. That's funny. That was the identifying mark on that cat with his large testicles.
Large nuts.
Let's see. All right, here's a unique one. I know we got to wrap up. We're going to go to Sierra next. Hi, Sierra. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Sierra. We only have a moment. What's your story?
So I had a pug, and it was like the fattest, most this thing shouldn't have survived. I lived in the Poconos, and it got out, and it traveled across the mountain behind my house, and it miraculously didn't get eaten by a bear, a fox, a fisher. I have no idea how. It was gone for 7 days.
Wow.
And my mom never told me until the woman who lived across the other side of the mountain found him sitting on her picnic table.
And they were just kind of hiding the fact that the dog was missing for a week.
Yeah.
That's a pretty tough one.
Yeah, my mom never told me.
Wow.
Were you away at college or something like that? How did you not notice that the dog was okay?
I was at Temple.
Okay. All right.
She would walk a stuffed animal.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you pull that off?
I'm going out with the dog.
That's crazy. Yeah. Being lost in the woods out there.
Yeah.
Coyotes.
Easy
all kinds
picking.
of stuff.
A pug.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sierra. I appreciate it. All right. Well, listen, we have to take a break. We're going Fox Good Day. So we're going to come back in a moment with those guys. But thank you for your stories. I'm happy to hear that Benji the dog is safe.
Yeah.
And they found him. That whole drone thing it's pretty wild that they can use that for that. Stay put. We'll be back in just a moment.
Culinary school. For me, it was a world-class experience. He was a trooper.
Can I ask you, Kelly, 36 courses you said. Are you not completely to the point of vomiting at that point? Or, I mean, what kind of volume of food are we talking about?
So there's small portions. Think when you see stuff on Top Chef, they're not large portions. It's small. It's 2 to 3 bites. They taste it really well. You're there for 2.5 hours, and then they retire you in your when you eat there. They retire you to this indoor outside sitting area where you smoke cigarettes and drink cognac. So you digest everything. It's not like we're eating this at a rapid pace.
I gotcha.
You're not my husband could have ate after. Actually, I feel like.
No, well, and from where you're coming from, I can see why this should be important to you if you yourself are in that culinary world. But we're looking. I guess this is the Instagram page up here in the studio, and the stuff looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the chef was super nice. He came out to our table. He walked me through the kitchen. I don't know how he said that. I felt an honor to meet him, but then he's like, "Oh, this is a chef from the United States," and I'm like, "Absolutely not. I am not you. But it was incredible. I highly recommend.
That is cool.
Yeah, Cal, where are you a pastry chef?
So I'm your Mary Mead girl. I make all the baked goods at Mary Mead Farm.
Mary Mead Farm's great.
Yeah.
Oh, Preston stole your ice cream.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah, you got to come.
Thumbs up on the peanut butter chocolate, by the way. Excellent. I need more of that. All right. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
See you later. By the way, I got a text that says, on the heels of that really expensive dinner, it said, I, last night, had the meatloaf with 3 sides at Cracker Barrel.
Oh, man, that's great. And they throw in a free Mel Tiller CD.
And then somebody said, this is good. It says, I once took a girl to Olive Garden and then got her pregnant. Yep, that was an expensive dinner. All right, let me rip through a few more of these. So the most expensive meals in the world. In New York at Norma's, they have what's called the $1 zillion lobster frittata.
Frittata?
$2,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's an expensive meal.
The omelet includes 10 ounces of Sevurga caviar, which is a big factor in price for those who can't afford to pay the cost. There's a smaller frittata with only 1 ounce of caviar available for just $200.
Have you ever?
I think
had
it's disgusting.
Caviar? I don't even know if I've had it.
I hate it. And anytime I've tried it, I mean it. And I've had different types of roe before, even in sushi. Sometimes you get salmon eggs and things like that, and it's a form of caviar.
Right.
I don't like it. It's way too powerful of a flavor for me.
It's salty, right? Isn't
super duper salty? Yeah. Industry Kitchen in New York has what they call the 24K pizza. It's not $24,000.
Oh my God!
It's $2,700.
$2,700. Now I love pizza. We got one of those backyard pizza ovens you hook up to a propane tank, and we've been making our own pizzas. It's really cool. But $2,700. What could possibly warrant that?
Well, it requires a 2-day advance order. And you are not paying for an average cheese and pepperoni pie. This pizza has Stilton cheese, foie gras, platinum Osetra caviar, once again with the caviar, truffles, and 24-karat gold leaves to top it off. That's stupid.
Forgive me, but what foie gras again is the
it's goose liver.
Goose liver, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And I do like foie gras, which, I know it's not ethically a very good thing to have because they fatten up the birds, really. And
and they staple them to death,
on the
don't
rarest of occasions, I will have it. But no, it's bad for the animal. It's considered cruel.
There's a picture of this very same pizza that you're talking about up in this. That does not look enticing to me
Looks
at all.
horrible.
No. Yeah.
Looks disgusting. All right.
It looks like paste with the stains on it.
At Fleur in Las Vegas, you can have the Fleur Burger $5,000, and that does cost you $5,000.
$5,000.
And it's just outside the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Only the most expensive meat is used to flavor this $5,000 burger. The Wagyu beef costs about $100 per pound. Also adding to the high costs are truffles worth $1,500 per pound. The meal also comes with a bottle of 1995 Chateau Petrus.
Well, there you go.
Valued at $2,500.
So what is considered a better beef, Wagyu or Kobe?
Wagyu, I've heard, is by far the top of the line, but I'm not
the
sure.
ultimate.
See, this is cheating. You call this a burger and you charge $5,000, but you're throwing in a $2,500 bottle of champagne.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. It's like
bogus.
If you were to serve $90 chicken fingers with a Maserati, and then you claim that was the price of the meal, that doesn't work.
But still, if you think about it, a $2,500 bottle of spirit there, it's still a $2,500 burger on top of that, which is pretty steep.
Right.
So Steve here, Nick found this bit of information about Wagyu beef. It says Wagyu marbling is better tasting. That's the fat that goes through the meat. Wagyu fat melts at a lower temperature than any other cattle's, resulting in a rich buttery flavor unseen in other strains of beef. This fat is also unsaturated and high in omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, meaning not only is Wagyu marbling more delicious, it's also more healthy.
Steve, the source on this, and I'm not kidding, is Steak University.
Really?
Out of Chicago, yeah.
Steak U.
My Chicago Steak, and they have their own little Steak University, and you can learn all about it.
SU.
All right. 2 more items on the most expensive meals in the world. This one is at Renato Voila. In Salerno, Italy. And the Louis XIII pizza.
Okay.
And I'll bet you it comes with the booze,
Hey,
right?
come on.
Is that what that's bullcrap?
Louis XIII. When you go into a bar, at the very, very top of the where they have the booze displayed, sometimes there's one bottle with a little light on it.
Yes.
That's Louis XIII.
So to me, you would have a pizza that would have this particular spirit mixed in with the dough or something like that, right? That would make it more. Otherwise, to me, it's not the exact cost of the meal.
So the pizza has toppings such as mozzarella di bufala, lobster, and caviar, all flown in from different parts of the world. And to top it off,
what am I talking about? I am talking about the need to eat pizza.
Here you go. It says the feast is served with Remy Martin Cognac, Louis XIII, and Champagne Krug Clos de Mesnil. Not de Menzies. Are you on de Menzies?
This is a red wine.
1995. Okay. And then the last one, which is the most expensive meal in the world, the Fortress Resort and Spa in Sri Lanka.
Oh.
And they have the Fortress Stilt Fisherman Indulgence.
Okay. A somewhat separate note. I saw Steve. I think this was History Channel. It was fascinating. It was richest people in history,
right?
And I never had seen anything about this fortress before. But this, I don't know if it's like a sultan or whoever, built this place. And if in today's standards, it would be the most expensive piece of real estate in the world. It's a fascinating look into and Preston, I guess this restaurant is right next to it or a part of it or whatever.
Okay. It's across from the Hooters.
It's a tourist attraction at this point, and so anybody can go and visit. But it's a really impressive place, and I had never heard of it until I saw this show on the History Channel.
Well, the Fortress Stilt Fisherman's Indulgence cost $14,500.
Right. Is this, Connor? Is this what we're looking at on the screen here?
This is stupid looking.
It's ridiculous. It looks like a game of mousetrap.
Steve, you are dude. Yes.
Right?
Yes. The guy on the little springboard that dives in. That's what it looks like.
Oh, you know what? I'll have chicken fingers and play mousetrap for much less.
So it's made on a special request, minimum of 24 hours notice.
Just $90 fingers, Kathy, looking a lot better with this.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a dessert, by the way. It's a dessert that features Italian cassata flavored with Irish cream. I don't know what that is.
I might be in.
And is served with a pomegranate and mango compote. The base is a champagne sabayon adorned with it. Listen to this, Kathy. An 80-carat aquamarine stone.
Well, there you
go.
So you're at a jewelry store.
Yeah.
And dessert,
which is placed beneath a handcrafted chocolate stilt fisherman.
Well, you can get, is the unlimited breadsticks at Olive Garden,
right?
But there's one that costs $10,000 because it comes with rubies.
Yeah. All right. Anyhow, those are the most expensive meals in the world. So, yeah.
That's a type of living that is completely alien to us.
Just cushioned the $90 chicken fingers part of that.
So if you go to Montauk,
Right.
$90 for chicken fingers,
This is
no
a
big
steal.
deal.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, real quick, I want to mention we have a new Daily Rush video that's up and running. It's called Beer, Social Diseases, and the Great Depression. Steve takes on a tour of Philadelphia's long history of women brewers and also their social diseases throughout the years. And you can be the first to see the newest Daily Rush by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet. Learn more at xfinity.com. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, the lovely Danica McKellar will join us. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR presents Allison G.
Do I need to read this?
Well, I can.
Is this happening
tell
now?
you. Yeah, I mean,
It says, I have a surprise coming.
Oh.
And it's from Casey. And I don't know what it's about. We were going to talk about
I like
something,
surprises.
But I do like surprises, so I'm intrigued.
What's the ETA?
Oh, I bet I know what it is.
Yeah?
Chicken fingers.
No.
No.
That's what I thought too.
Close.
Oh, man.
Dairy Queen?
Close.
Oh, the
wait, the croissant. No, the croissants.
Croissants.
Oh.
Yes. Fresh out of the oven. They're on
From
their way out.
Pagano's downstairs, the restaurant Casey said earlier this morning, best he's ever had ever.
I love croissants.
And so
Warm
they're going
and
to...
buttery.
So will we be eating them
That's
on
a great
the air?
porn
Or
Warm and buttery. I want you to take a bite on the air.
All right.
And so, I went down a little bit earlier. Lee took care of us. Charged us full price,
Are they in transit now?
They're in transit. Yeah, I think we just sent Mara down there for him.
Matt, the head guy down there, did a while back, and I forgot what we had done, but he offered to buy us to send breakfast. About 15 seconds or so, we're going to be joining our friends at Fox Good Day. I'll bring up this little fader here, which means we are now live with those guys. We'll hear some music fading up, and then they will send it to us. I've got to remind you about the Wmmammys. We have a new category. It's Rock Tour of the Year. You can go to PrestonSteve.com and vote on that. And full list of nominees there. It's tours all over the world. Which one you thought deserves the distinction of the Rock Tour of the Year? It is up to you. Case, I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, that's weird.
So should have heard them by now. And everything seems to be engaged, and I hear nothing. So I don't know what to do. If they're probably coming to us live right now and talking to us, and
we can't hear them.
We can't hear you guys. So if you are talking to us, Mike and Alex, sorry about that, but we're not going to be able to join you. So Casey's taking a look at the specs on the girder, and I
hear something.
You hear something? That's Marissa talking on the phone. So. Oh, man. Bummer, man. I wanted to talk to them, too. All right. Well, anyhow, as we are trying to get this worked out, I'll tell you what Shimmer made me think of.
Their children to swear. That's
there we go.
Really low.
We can hear you.
And the poll found that parents of teens. Oh, damn it. We have you now.
Son of a.
Yes.
Yeah, sons of. So this children's hospital up in Ann Arbor, Michigan says that half the people they interviewed said, well, it depends what word they're saying, and 6%, only 6%, said they allowed their children to swear, cuss, whatever you want to call it. Preston, let's start with you.
You sound surprised by that, Mike.
What have you allowed?
No, I wasn't allowed anything when I was a kid, without question.
No.
Yeah, and I didn't really, I wasn't cool with it with our kids either. I mean, they're all adults now, but it took until about maybe 17 years old when, I mean, not like, the lighter words were okay.
The C word.
No, not that one. No, that was a little later on.
No.
But by the time they got to like 17, I'm like, okay, we can let it fly. As long as you're not using it in a mean, direct.
Right. And at them.
At me.
Yeah.
Them, or my wife or anything along those lines. But it's funny because we talked about this the other day, Mike, when you see TV shows regularly that are on streaming networks and the language can fly, you'll see 13, 14 years old dropping S-bombs and occasionally F-bombs in front of their parents. And they just they might go, language, but I would have gotten kicked out the door.
You would have gotten your ass kicked.
Yeah, I would have.
So, Steve, when you were growing up, were you allowed?
So, my dad, again, the perfect mix of the King's English and profanity like nobody's business. So, if we would curse, and I'd look at my mom and I go like, Dad, come on. Yeah. So, but we felt bad. I remember the first time I let the F-bomb slip in front of my mom, I was like, oh, man, I could just see the sullen look on her face.
Yeah.
I failed as a parent, but once once the genie's out of the bottle. So, but it was at 14, 15, getting up into teen territory. I don't think they would have loved it if I was a 5-year-old walking around cursing like that, and yet.
Well, when I walk around Philly and I run into a group of teenagers, even younger than that, I mean, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, they're cussing.
Yeah.
They're dropping F-bombs left and right. And I don't think it comes from their parents, per se. It's from social media.
Probably. Yeah, it absolutely is. Social media, the music, and the peer pressure. And it sounds weird. And I'm all, hey, whatever you want to do. But that just seems weird. And it's disrespectful, I think, to like adults. But maybe we're just old fogies.
Yeah. I know growing up, I never said a bad word around my parents, and my parents never said a bad word around me, and my children never swear around me.
Never to this day.
To this day? Wow.
What about
to this day?
What about you, Alex?
I wasn't even allowed to say "shut up." My parents thought that was like really abrasive, and that would get me in trouble.
Wow.
And to this date, Alex does not swear.
Wow.
If she wants to say F, it's fruit.
That's right. I remember you telling us that. Oh, fruit.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, how are you guys surviving the storm? You okay?
Yeah, you know what? We're so, I was going to curse, tired. Snow removal, enough of this.
And the cold weather.
The cold just sucks the life out of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know you guys had to be in,
Miserable.
like us. Who in the world
Right.
determined we're essential workers?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Exactly. There's no way I'm essential at anything. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
It's 8 o'clock.
All right. Bye-bye. I just realized they're an interview. Thank God they didn't pan down, but my zipper's down.
Oh, my God.
I had my fly completely down during that. I almost zipped it up while I was talking to him. Anyway,
Shimmer.
So before we went to that, last night, Rochelle and I had to run some errands. And while we were driving through the neighborhoods in our area, have you noticed that especially snow that has been untouched it is frozen over and it has this glazed look upon it.
It's beautiful.
Lights reflect off of it. It looks like fondant, Steve.
Do you know what's wonderful too? The accent lighting around the house is now buried under that.
Yeah.
And it has this sort of
ethereal glow.
Saturday Night Fever dance floor look to it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
It just looks great.
I love it.
It's so hard, Preston, that yesterday I saw somebody make a putting green on the ice.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could roll something solid on top. It is so firm and glazed over. You don't want to touch it. It doesn't look real.
So when I was cleaning the street, trying to get more parking space, for me and my neighbors, so that you're closer to the sidewalk and not sticking out as the plows are trying to get through. There, as I was shoveling and braking, I was literally just picking up like
blocks.
igloo blocks.
Yeah.
It was easier to do that than to try to move them across.
It looks pretty cool. After seeing that last night, I'm like, okay, this can stick around for a little while. It looks pretty
but
nice.
no more!
No more, exactly. We don't need to add to it. We're good for now. All right, so that's what Shimmer made me think of.
Yeah.
All right, let's, I want to remind you of something. If you want to get out of this winter wonderland, we have a big freaking deal right now. You can buy a ticket to Sahara Sam's Oasis Water Park. Ooh. And you can get one free, by the way. So 2 tickets for $30, man. Listen to that. When it's freezing, it feels like summer at Sahara Sam's Indoor-Outdoor Water Park. It's in West Berlin, New Jersey. It's open year-round, and you can get the details while supplies last. WMMR.com/deals. If you're a parent and you want to surprise your kids with something really, really cool,
I think that's nice.
You should take advantage of that because you can get in your bathing suit, go swimming and water slides and all that stuff right now. And how cool is that when you look outside and you see all the snow and you're able to do that? So WMMR.com/deals, and that's a special deal, $30 for 2 tickets. Pretty sweet. All right, let's get to the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. They want you to screw the usual and register your nuttiest sled for the Preston Steve Cardboard Classic. It's a chance to win $1,000 cash. You go to WMMR.com to get your details. I would like to thank our YouTuber, Mrs. Will Games, for sending me this story out of Delaware. We're going to start with this. Delaware State Police arrested 40-year-old Lindsay Munkavage of Georgetown after what can only be described as a series of extremely questionable decisions during a pursuit Monday afternoon in the Long Neck area. Around 4 p.m., a detective with the Sussex County Governor's Task Force watched an Ford F-150 nearly cause a crash. And when police attempted to a traffic stop on her, the truck said nope and slowly cruised off, kicking off a pursuit that never really picked up a bunch of speed, but definitely picked up chaos. During the chase, a female attempted to jump out of the moving truck, and then she changed her mind, and then later successfully exited, suffering minor injuries in the process. The chase finally ended in the Pinewater Farm community after the truck hit a fence and a tree, and that's when Munkavage hopped out, ran straight into the Rehoboth Bay.
Whoa.
And apparently thought that swimming away was a good escape plan.
Boy.
It's a tad bit chilly out right now.
Hypothermia sets in quickly.
So she didn't get away. A trooper actually jumped into the bay and went after her.
God bless him.
Caught up with her, pulled her to safety, officially ending the water portion of the pursuit. She was taken into custody without further incident. And there's also a great mugshot where she's looking like, I screwed up. Police later learned Mancavige's license was revoked. She was wanted for a probation violation, and the drug paraphernalia was also found in the vehicle.
Oh, boy.
After being checked out at a local hospital, she was taken to Troop 4, arraigned, and committed to the Sussex County Correctional Institute on a $5,500 secured bond.
That water was cold.
Another animal lover has paid dearly for that wild animal selfie that they just had to have. In China, a skier was injured after making a colossally stupid decision to attempt a selfie with a snow leopard. Late last week, a woman was taken to the hospital with severe facial injuries when the feline made it clear that it wasn't nearly as excited about being in a photo with her as she was with it. Steve, this reminds me of a story your wife Claire told me while I was over at your house recently, how while she was on safari, she desperately wanted to cuddle up with a cheetah. And I was like, Claire, not a good idea. She said, I know. So the woman is now said to be in stable condition, and safety patrols in the area have been increased, although it's not clear how much good they'll do when people are already eager to ignore warnings that have already been clearly posted against doing dumb things like that.
I've seen lovely pictures of them sleeping in the snow. And they got a little snow on their noses.
You didn't want to.
And then the footage of her being led away, Case, it's like, remember that movie Dark Man with the gauze? And her face was butchered.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what could possibly go wrong here? Now, keep in mind the Daily Mail is reporting this, that scientists have utilized AI to create a new virus that had never previously existed.
We need more viruses.
The virus, dubbed JAN.28.2026, was created from scratch using artificial intelligence. The virus consists of just 11 genes compared to the 200,000 in the human genome, making it one of the simplest forms of life on the planet. This artificial virus was specifically created to kill infectious and potentially deadly E. coli bacteria. British scientist and entrepreneur Dr. Adrian Wolfson said, for the last 4 billion years, all life on Earth has evolved by the trial and error process of Darwinian evolution by natural selection, which lacks any foresight or intention. Natural evolution now has a co-author. The co-author, the emerging ability of AI-driven genome design and genome construction technologies has a potential to exist alongside natural evolution. But he urged caution in AI creating its own viruses.
Do you remember I Am Legend?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was supposed to be a cancer cure.
Yes.
Didn't work out.
Didn't
Did
work
not
out.
work out. All right, then we'll do one more story, and we will wrap things up for now. Let's go with this one. Cheating on driving tests in the UK jumped 40% last year as learners struggle with long wait times and a tough exam. Nearly 2,900 cheating attempts were recorded in England, Scotland, and Wales in the year ending of September 2025. The most common tricks included using Bluetooth earpieces to get answers during the theory test, and also hiring lookalikes to take the exam.
Take the driving test
for them.
Wow.
Some impersonators earn up to $2,700 per successful pass. Wow. That is pricey, man.
I wonder how successful. What's the percentage of successful Goppeldangers? What is it?
Doppelgangers.
Doppelgangers. That's what the show says.
I mean, $2,700. Why not just try and pay off the instructor?
Might be cheaper.
Yeah.
All right, one man was sentenced to 8 months in prison after impersonating learners 12 times, and the fraud isn't helping smooth out the bumps in the process. The average wait for a test slot is now 22 weeks.
Whoa.
Just to get yourself in there. All right, and that is what we have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. All right, at some point this morning, we'll do some more invites to our Galentine's Day party, which is coming up on February 12th at Parks Casino. It's a Preston and Steve sorority party, and we're going to be playing bingo. That's going to be our activity. We always try to have some kind of activity for the night.
We wanted something that, listen, the bingo, believe it or not, I love bingo. It's fun. I don't like games. I like bingo.
Yep, so we'll do that, and we'll do some invites before the show is up this morning, so listen up for your chance to get in and on board. We're going to take a break. When we get back, one of our favorite guests, Mr. Derrick Pitts of the Franklin Institute, will be joining us. Stay put. We'll be right back. And it happened like in a week when we had too much going on, and I couldn't coordinate it, so we do appreciate that offer. It might have been when we got into the Radio Hall of Fame. I'm not really 100% sure, but nonetheless, they're great people down at Pagano's, which is awesome to have them here. Okay, so...
Yeah, so when it's coming up, I don't want you guys to, if you...
Do you want to get one of those rideshare bikes down there to bring it up quicker?
Yeah, they now have these rideshare bicycles in our parking lot.
We're getting bees, aren't we?
Are we getting bees?
Yeah, I think there's going to be beehives. That we got an email from Tony Perrone over our vacation saying that they're going to set up bees. And Steve, I think it's the same guy that you've had
Alan,
at your
the bee
house.
man?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not
but
100% sure.
I read that as that's he's just coming for the day. I don't
Yeah, it
think
was
they're
like
gonna live here.
almost like a field trip type of deal. Like,
Yeah.
hey, if you want to go check out.
I thought they were setting up hives. Maybe I misunderstood.
That'd be cool if they did. So that'd be cool. But where are the bikes? Oh, do we determine whether they are electric or regular?
They're not. They're regular. I drove by and saw them the other day. They definitely don't have batteries on them.
All right.
And I've never ridden on one of those. I don't know how they ride. You guys, I assume nobody here has ridden
looked all
one
right.
of those.
Like cruiser type, right?
Marissa's ridden. She's a city dweller.
Hold on.
So
You've read one of the ones in our parking lot?
Well, not those. I assume they're like the Indigo ones.
They are, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
in all over the city, in the city bikes in other cities.
Kind of durable bikes?
Yeah, they're great. Like if we wanted to ride over to Taco Bell, Casey, instead of taking a car over there, perfect.
Oh.
They're a little heavier. They're meant so like you're not going to try to steal it. It's not that great of a bike.
How do you? What do you put a card in or something, or you just take it?
I think, Steve, here at the building, you actually sign up and get it that way. But usually, like in the city, yeah, you have an account.
App? Yeah. All right.
Is it free for us who work in the building?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We should do like a bicycle stunt team using those.
A stunt team.
Yeah.
I could see doing that.
Somebody sent in a
here
text
you
saying
go.
that they have the beehive set up at 3 Bella right now.
Huh. Okay. Well,
I love all the stuff that
They're touring bees.
take
touring
these.
beehives.
The croissants have arrived.
All right.
Croissant.
You should taste it. Then Casey swears the best croissant he's ever had.
And nothing on them, right, Case?
Nothing on
All
it.
right, so they're light and flaky and still warm. Ooh. That's wonderful. I'm going to have one right now. I'm going to tear it apart here.
Really? I can have one too?
Oh, yeah. I got one for everybody.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. Look at this. Look at this thing coming apart. I'm going to shoot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Thank you.
I'm going to shoot.
Yeah, that's damn good. Damn, Kath, you took a big bite. You throated that thing.
Really?
Oh, I just saw from a profile. Maybe it was kind of hollow. But.
Light and flaky. That's exactly what you want.
Damn good.
Yeah.
Now, if we just can get the bees and the bicycles, we'll have everything.
Croissants are messy.
They are.
I mean, as far as because
We need
they're
napkins.
They're crummy.
so flaky.
So moist. The whole notion of putting butter on a croissant is kind of laughable. But
I know, you're right.
Yeah. These are good.
See, we knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, shoot.
Pauses,
All right,
moments
here
of
you go, Kathy.
silence.
Yeah,
Did
thanks.
you almost drop an S-bomb there?
I said shoot.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Very nice. Thank you, Pagano's. That was really nice. All right. Anyway, I have something else to talk about, but not with a mouthful.
I like a little bit of salt.
What?
I taste a little bit of salt on the croissant.
I thought
maybe
you meant
some
like
butter.
adding salt to it.
No. Just in the taste of the croissant itself.
All right, we're done eating. For
Okay.
those of you who hate eating sounds on the radio, we're done with that. I did want to share something out of my personal life. Actually, it's out of my son's personal life. He got his first speeding ticket yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Yep, and listen, he just turned 22 years old, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm trying to remember. I got pulled over so many times and got so many tickets. I can't remember when they began. I'm sure it was 16 or 17.
You can't remember your first infraction?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Preston, I had gotten so many speeding tickets by the time I was 22 and I think you had to do the same thing, Nick. I had to go into the DMV and take a test again.
Yeah, because
Oh my
you got
God, really?
You got points.
Yeah, I had points on my license, and so I had to take a test to reduce the points on my license.
If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Casey, but I think if you get 6 points, you lose your license.
Yeah,
right.
And if you approach 6 points, you can take these tests, and that will reduce the number of points that you have until they're down to 0.
So the officer that pulled him over had kind of noticed that. He had seen that his record was 100% completely clean.
That's good.
22 years old, and told him in so many words, he's like, "This is rare." He's like, it's kind of wild to see this. So he didn't give him any points on his license. He is going to have to. He's going to get a ticket and a fine, and it's going to cost $100+ or whatever it is. But he noted his record and saw that it was clean and gave him a little bit of a break on that because of that, and that's an officer's discretion to do that.
Where did he get dinged? Was it on a main thoroughfare or side streets?
It was on a main. I'm not going to say where, just in case. When you start talking about police, listen. One time I talked about, and this was early on in my radio career, I got pulled over for expired plates, and the officer let me go, and I went on the radio and thanked the officer for doing that, and they got loads of complaints. And the next day, that officer was sitting in the same spot and busted me and gave me a ticket because I heard about what you said on the radio. I'm like, oh man,
damn.
I thought I was doing a nice thing, but we live and we learn.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I'm not going to say where it was, but so he noted that he had a clean record and gave him a little bit of a break, which was cool. And Parker handled it well, which is great.
Yeah, to be at that age, you have to. So I think I was probably around his age when I got my first speeding ticket. But I really no. You know what? The first ticket I got was for running a light that had just turned red at an intersection.
That's okay.
I was traveling behind a truck. Like an 18-wheeler.
Couldn't see it.
Couldn't see the light.
I hate that.
And I got nailed. And I'm like, come on,
Don't
really?
you kind of feel almost like drifting or, drafting? You're allowed to just go through behind that truck?
Yeah. He was right. I mean, I went through a red light.
My first infraction was a fender bender, and it was like 16 seconds after I got my license.
Oh, you kidding?
What? No, it wasn't the same day, but it was shortly after. And I went to pull out of a parking lot, and I remember it. I went to pull out of a parking lot and didn't see the car, saw the car at the last minute and hit the gas instead of the brake. And plowed right into him. Now, it wasn't like terrible damage because neither of us were really moving, but that was, and it was my dad's car. And I had to go home and be like, well, got into my first accident.
A lot of people texting in who've 35 years old, 52 years old, 40 years old, never gotten a ticket.
Nothing?
I wonder if they maybe never pulled over before as well.
That's a terrible feeling, looking in the rearview mirror and seeing the lights.
Awful.
And usually, Steve, to your point, you've done something wrong. But
and there you are, you're sitting behind the wheel, you're eating that pot as fast as you can.
Right, yeah. I mean, you got to ingest to get rid of the evidence. The last speeding ticket I got was one of those cameras. It wasn't even an interaction with an officer. I was it was in Baltimore heading north on 95. And I got the ticket 2 or 3 days later in the mail. I was like, son of a bitch.
The last speeding ticket I got, I cried. And it really was not intentional. I was having a terrible day and I just got pulled over and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And it was 11 a.m. It wasn't even fully into the whole day. And I think I made the guy feel so awkward. He was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. I didn't even have an explanation. I was like, it's just a bad day.
I have bad orgasms. They're like earthquakes when they should be like waves.
And he gave me the ticket and I got the fine, but same thing, I didn't get points on my license.
All right, the worst is, and if you're on the highway and there's other cars around and you see those lights go on and you just go, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. You know it.
Don't you try to hide in between the other cars, though?
Do one of those things. Do you? So let me ask you. Overall, give an estimate to how many tickets you've gotten. I don't get a lot of. I'm actually a good driver. I mean, as far as I'm pretty.
Yeah, I've never gotten points on my license, so that would mean
I've
not
never
that
either.
many, right?
It's been a long time since I've gotten one. Last one I got actually, Steve, was when we were at Y100 in media. So it's been, many years.
Right.
I don't know.
So that's a long time ago.
Probably 6 tickets or so.
Yeah, probably 10, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember my last one because I was on my way to my sister-in-law's baby shower. My nephew was 6, so it was 6 years ago.
I got one, Kath. I was so mad that I even got pulled. I didn't know what I was getting pulled over for. The problem is I was in a school zone. And there was a cop right behind me. The problem is I went past the little light flashing that it was a school zone, and then I stopped at a stoplight. Okay? So in the time that I was at the stoplight, completely forgot that I was in a school zone, and then I started driving. I wasn't I was within the speed limit, the regular speed limit, and I'm getting pulled over. I'm like, and Kath, I had No, I had just gone to Taco Bell. So I was eating a taco, and as I'm getting pulled over, I'm like, I wonder if I'm getting pulled over for eating.
What did I do, officer?
Because I had no idea. And I'm like, am I not, And so when he pulled me over, he was like, oh, you're speeding in the school zone.
That's the way you eat a taco.
Yeah, that. But no, so I ended up getting, the ticket for that. And
sometimes, obviously there are traps and there are areas where you'll to be careful. People who are familiar with certain areas, and you see a newbie in an area that doesn't know a particular cop sits behind a particular store.
Yeah.
And you'll see people get nailed.
Well, right by the there's a reservoir on 252 near Lake Media, and there are two different spots where a police officer will sit, and there are lines. It's it's a speed trap, and I know this. And what sucks is the speed limit goes from 45 to 35. And so they'll clip you on when you slow down, and I know this. And I had some dude riding my ass, and I'm like, bud, and I ended up pulling over.
Right.
I'm like, you can go ahead. And sure enough, there was a cop waiting there, and I guess maybe the cop wasn't looking, maybe he was just doing, so he didn't catch the guy speeding.
Do you know they're really strict? So on this stretch of road here, St. Asaph's down, right?
Yeah.
Is that this way is St. Asaph's?
No, to the right is St. Asaph's, to the left is presidential.
So you go down and down in that industrial area, and
it's 25.
It's posted strictly.
Wait, explain again.
25.
Where?
Yeah.
So
Make a left, Kath.
out of our park out, make a left. They are super strict on 25.
Oh.
So once you get down to presidential here, once you go through that light, 25 miles an hour, you got it.
And on the weekend, you will see them. There'll be 4 or 5, 6 cop cars pulling over people right and left.
By the way, I like this one. It says, where was it? Where did it go? This guy says, both times I got a ticket. Both tickets I've gotten, I was listening to Zeppelin at the proper level.
Police officers should understand.
And now I know better.
I got pulled over listening to Salisbury Hill, which is I was like, oh, it's a great song. This is a really great song. And I ended up going 64 and a 40. And I don't think Salisbury Hill is normally a song that'll pump you up that much, but for whatever reason, it did that day.
Casey, here's a text says, I'm a cop, and that thing with the school zone and stoplight or stop sign in the middle of it is super common for people to forget.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're eating a taco.
Yeah. Throws you off.
Wait a minute. I was eating a taco.
I've got to go to Rob.
Yes.
I need to hear this. Hey, Rob, you're on the air. Good morning.
How you guys doing, Gadzooks?
Good. Gadzooks to you, buddy. Okay, it says here you got 6 tickets in 47 minutes. Please explain.
So I was on my way to the street races in South Philly. And I was
That's enough of that,
I was flying over the bridge, going over to Walt Whitman, and Port Authority got me. I got a speeding ticket, expired registration, and a seatbelt. When I got off the bridge, I was heading down toward Broad and Patterson. And at the time, there was a cop parked right alongside the train station. And I thought nothing of it. But when I went to go around them, she kind of came out to block the road. And I thought she was merely just pulling out. So when I went around her, she pulls a U-turn, pulls me over, and I got avoiding a police barricade, expired registration, and another seatbelt.
Where you're like, Rob, hey, I'm running late for the street races.
Interesting.
The ironic thing was the people that I was meeting was going west down Patterson. They saw me pulled over.
Rob, quick question. So you got 2 tickets for expired registration within minutes of each other. I always thought, wouldn't that come up as you just being ticketed for that? And is that standard to reissue that same ticket again? We're
different state, though. He was coming across.
That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rob.
That was one of the first things out of my mouth when I got pulled over on Patterson. I was like, listen, I'm really sorry, but I just got, she's like, well, honey, you're getting 2 more. Like,
wow. And by the way, I didn't know it was the Port Authority that has jurisdiction on the bridges. Because I've always been curious about that. Because they're clearly the speed limit, posted, and thank you very much, Marissa. So our next guest, we love having him on. He's been coming on this program for years. We usually talk to him about celestial events that are taking place. Meteor showers and solar activity and super moons and things like that. Today, though, we're talking about a trip that's going to be taken very, very soon.
Let me take you on a little trip. My supersonic ship's a tour
On the to our moon. The Artemis 2 is getting ready to take off very, very soon, next few days. And we would like to welcome our chief astronomer pal of the Franklin Institute, Mr. Derrick Pitts.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody.
Nice to see you, Derrick. How you doing?
I'm very good, thanks. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, no problem, man. And we always love your Zoom background.
It's awesome.
Wonderful. We're looking at, I think, all of the galaxies.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a James Webb deep space, a deep universe image.
Yeah.
And this deep field image, what I love about this deep field image is there's one star right there.
Yeah.
You can see that one star,
Yeah.
but everything else is a galaxy.
That's insane.
Everything else is a galaxy.
Wow.
And the really red ones, that you see, those red fuzzy blobs, they are extraordinarily distant, like millions of light years away and moving away at significant percentages of the speed of light. And that's the reason why they're red.
That sort of
Amazing.
informs a part of this discussion, because we were talking just before we came on with you, Derrick, Preston, and myself, and we were just, we're just amped up on this tremendously. And I raised this aspect of it all to a great many people. They're only familiar with low orbit sort of stuff, the International Space Station and shuttle missions and telescopes in space, which is impressive, certainly, and amazing technological achievements. But the notion of heading towards another place, the moon, 50 years, right, since anything like this has happened. So this is something that always just fueled my imagination. I was a kid when the man Neil Armstrong put his foot on the moon, and I remember being blown away by it. Hopefully, and I'm wondering if we are too jaded, or a lot of people are too jaded now to appreciate what is happening with the Artemis and the program, because it's restarting everything. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, the way I actually feel about this is that it's not that people are jaded so much, it's that they have nowhere near as much awareness as the original Apollo program had. At that time, that was a major focus of space exploration because there were so few players in the game.
Yeah.
But now there are so many other players in the game. It seems to me that a lot of this has watered down, the big effect of this. But I think when the public realizes that there are people that are headed out to the moon on a very risky mission, they'll start to pay attention again.
I think you're right. I think the idea that it's been diluted by so much has sort of maybe listened. But I think it's just our nature to find this exhilarating and fascinating. So they had the test run, unmanned, and the staging of all this, it shouldn't be lost on everyone that this is going to the moon with an eye on Mars, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the long-term ultimate goal.
And so, they're saying that I'm going to break down everything. I'm going to geek out here. I know, Preston, you have questions as well. The Orion itself is kind of the star of everything. And I've heard space-wise inside the Orion, it's similar to a modern or a cargo van of sorts, that same sort of footage. But what are the improvements from what has been sent up before?
Well, first of all, they have much better sort of electronic infrastructure and guidance systems and communication systems and all that sort of stuff. But they also have way more room than they had before in the spacecraft. And given that they have so much more room, it's a much more comfortable trip for them to make all the way out and back from the moon. The spacecraft has much better re-entry protection in terms of the protective shield as it comes back into the Earth's atmosphere. And overall, the overall design of this allows them to take more payload than they were able to take before. So all this helps to support their time out at the moon.
Okay.
And this particular mission is kind of like, the Apollo missions that led up to Apollo 11, which eventually landed on the moon. They're going up to take a good peek, make sure that everything works properly before they make that descent to the lunar surface. Is that kind of the goal of this particular mission, amongst other things, I would imagine?
Right. No, actually, that's really the focus, Preston, is that they're trashing out, if you will, all of the equipment that they would use to actually make the trip to the moon and land on the surface. So they're testing the launch vehicle. They're testing the capsule itself, the Orion capsule itself. They're testing how all the systems work on board that spacecraft. They're testing the communication system. They're also asking the astronauts to work through a number of maneuvers for the spacecraft, moving it around in space so they can test and see how that works. And so it's for the spacecraft and for the astronauts to have the in situ experience of what it's going to be like to actually make the trip to the moon.
Now,
so they won't go down.
No, continue. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is what's called a lunar circumnavigation. So they go out and they fly around the moon, just once around the moon, and head back to Earth. And at that point, when they're out at the moon, in fact, they're going to be at the greatest distance away from Earth that humans have ever been.
That's so cool.
As they make this orbit around the moon and head back down. But it's all just a training ground for Artemis 3.
Hey, one of the things I haven't delved into yet, Derrick, is the lunar module that's going to go down, and I haven't seen any renderings or anything along those lines. And A, have you seen that? And B, is it starkly different than what we know from the Apollo missions?
Oh, yeah, it is starkly different from what we know from the Apollo mission because it doesn't exist yet.
Okay.
It doesn't exist yet. Boy, you went right to the heart of the matter, didn't you? So,
well, they've had to have been working on this. I mean, come on.
No.
Shut up.
Really?
Huh. He's shaking his head.
Then what the hell are we doing?
On the radio.
Oh, my God. Okay, so look, here's the deal. The deal is that they have all of the infrastructure they need to actually take astronauts out to the moon, but they have no way to get down to the surface of the moon and back up yet.
Okay.
So NASA has just re-released the request for proposals to build something that will actually take astronauts from lunar orbit down to the surface and back up.
That took, now it was more antiquated. That took Grumman like 7 years to put together back in the day.
Yeah, and so here's the fly in the ointment. The fly in the ointment is if we think we're going to put astronauts on the moon in 2028, we need to design, build, test, retest, reconfigure, make a final version of this, and give it a try before we actually put astronauts in it to send them down to the moon.
Well,
the question is, can we do that in 2 years?
So we had the Kennedy charged the creative and the technological world in 10 years want to do this, and things were shoestring in some cases, and shouldn't have worked but did. A miracle of obviously clearly historic levels. At this point. Now, let me ask you, Derrick, is it going to be a umbilical cord craft leaving another craft, or is it going to be the entire everything land on the moon and take off again? In other words, there won't be a Michael Collins, orbiting above and they rejoin. Are they entertaining all those possibilities?
Yeah, they really are entertaining all of those possibilities at this point. Because the first thing they want to be able to do is to successfully put several astronauts on the surface and bring them back safely. And so they have the wherewithal to do all of this in, in almost an automated fashion.
Yeah.
In that the system can essentially control itself. And of course, the commander and pilot can manage everything if they need to. But right now, the thing that really has to be taken care of is the idea that we need to build this bridge between the Orion capsule getting down to the surface of the moon and back up, and the SpaceX Starship. That's the other looming piece that we can't forget in this. Okay. Because in reality, after Artemis 3, the plan is for NASA to shift over from the Space Launch System that they are currently using as the booster to take these astronauts up on the circumnavigation. They're going to switch from that over to the SpaceX Starship. And this is why our audiences ought to be paying attention to what's happening on the Starship side, because that's really going to be the workhorse for reestablishing a base on the moon.
Is that what they're... So when they talk about the Lunar Gateway, what are they talking about?
Okay, so Lunar Gateway is supposed to be an interface between the Orion spacecraft and the surface of the moon. It's supposed to be like a way station, if you will, between, in lunar orbit. So arriving astronauts from Earth would come to Lunar Gateway. They'd stage there first. Like, let's come there. We'll get used to being in lunar orbit for a minute, and then we'll go down to the surface of the moon. So there would be a craft that goes from Gateway down to the surface of the moon, then comes back up from the surface of the moon with astronauts to Gateway, where they transition to a spacecraft that brings them back to Earth.
Okay.
Wow.
So what we're talking about here is really two pieces. Gateway itself, that is the interim station, and the lander. And what's the configuration going to be? Because if you think about it, you either have to fly everything from Earth out to the moon so that the lander can disconnect from the transfer craft from the Earth to go down to the surface of the moon, or we have to construct Gateway plus the lander to get everybody down to the surface of the moon.
It boggles, I thought, I think, Preston, you were probably on this same trajectory as well. I thought they had that all planned out.
Me too.
Like I didn't realize that's still all in the proposal stage right now.
Yeah.
And with the 2028 projected, that does not seem attainable.
Well, yeah. Basically, that's right.
Yeah.
So this has been the flaw in the announcements that have been made and the timelines that have been proposed coming out of the current administration. This is the problem. It's the timing.
Yeah.
Now, if the administration had said we're going to do this by 2030. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. But they started out of the gate saying that it was going to happen in 26, and then they backed it off to 27. Now it's backed off to 28.
Yeah.
And we still don't have a plan yet for either the Gateway or for a lander.
Wow.
Truthfully, the lander ought to be in production now.
Yeah. I'm actually shocked at this news, Derek, because like you, Steve, I was just assuming all the stuff
we got it.
was underway.
Just have to do a little bit of
interesting.
A couple of tests, and we're there.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. So let's just push this in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
And that different direction is, number one, we're talking about politicians saying what the engineers are going to be able to do or are going to do. The engineers have a totally different timeline for what they feel they can actually accomplish. But nobody wants to hear what the engineers say, because the engineers are far more cautious and risk averse than the politicians that are trying to make a splash. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, let's not forget the other players, because look at the advancements that have been made by Blue Origin and by SpaceX.
That's what I was going to ask.
There's really something to be said for the fast track iterative process that has been used by SpaceX and by Blue Origin to some degree. Now, if you have a leader that has all the money in the world and can buy all the resources necessary and can put far more people to work on the project, then there's a possibility that you could try to shrink that timeline some.
Well, I mean, if you
pull it within the parameters is a real challenge.
Talking about, the initial Kennedy run, that announcement, they called everyone was like, what?
Yeah.
So that seemed like a ridiculous, laughable notion, and there we were on the moon, doing it. So I don't say it can't, but you're right. You weave in the other players and the advancements that they made, and in concert, maybe we can achieve this. Are we being too impetuous and too impatient here, Derek?
Yeah, I think what I believe it's so hard to predict this stuff, but what I would think would happen is we can have a successful Artemis 2 mission.
Yeah.
And then after Artemis 2, we come to the realization, we come to two things. We come to the realization that it's going to take more time to develop the infrastructure and technology we need to get down to the surface of the moon and back up safely.
Yeah.
And number two, the political cycle changes in such a way that a new administration says, let's just slow down and really take a close look at how much time it's actually going to take us to do this safely and with the least risk.
I thought one of the great regrets is that the various administrations, just politics in general, stalled the space program. I mean, we were, frankly, I figured we'd be in Jetsons territory right now, but I mean, so it is what it is. You can't change that. But, so we're going to learn a lot here. Hopefully, glean what needs to be used. Let's break it down to the basics here. So we're having 6 astronauts going, correct?
4.
4. I'm sorry. I thought it was 6. So 4 astronauts going in this compartment. I've heard another thing that they're making a big deal about, the space toilet. They have revised the space bath. They literally have what appears to be a space bathroom. How deep is your dive, Ben? You'll excuse the phrasing, into that toilet.
Well, I have to admit, I have not delved very far into the toilet. no swirlies, nothing like that. I'm trying to avoid that.
It was my understanding that they did have an issue a couple of times where matter escaped. They've been using sort of hoses and Ziploc bags and suction devices of sorts.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because it is really important.
Yeah.
It's a matter of aesthetics and cleanliness, of course, and health concerns.
Yeah.
That you make sure that your toilets are working properly. And the improvements that have been made really do, now take this really critical component of a long space journey and give it the attention it needs to have so that you can not only make it more like a home experience, but you have much better control over it than you did in the past.
I think it's
and a much more realistic sense of how to treat the matter, if you will.
There's so much of the thinking in this that makes me, I want them to capture the excitement in general with people and be excited about this. This is not something, even though we've just realized that half of those that we thought was already ready to go is not. But still, this is an amazing undertaking. And so we should be excited. Do you think, I'll get you to hypothesize here or project, put your Nostradamus hat on. Do you think this will excite the general public moving forward? Will people get swept up in this?
I think people will get swept up in it because they will see themselves in these roles as explorers in the solar system. It's just natural. All of us as humans have this desire to explore, some more than others do, to the point where somebody's willing to take a trip out around the moon. But I think that that sense of exploration, the humanity of that really grabs and pulls all of us to some degree. I don't see how you can't be excited about, or at least have human concern for these people who've agreed to do this.
I agree.
Hey, Derrick, I'm wondering if there might be a way to organize the people that are in charge to somehow, when eventually they are going to make a descent to the lunar surface and send people there, that we are able to create a campaign that will allow the Supreme Chancellor of the We Didn't Go to the Moon Society to be able to go down to the surface and come back and say, they landed on the moon.
I think that person, as well as the leadership of the Flat Earth Society, should be among the first to make the trip out to the moon.
Come back.
I would love to see the Flat Earther come back, land, stand in front of a microphone, and go, it's round.
Holy hell. Holy hell.
We were wrong.
All right, a couple of quick questions because I want to ask you this, and excuse my, we're submoronic at this level, but we're kids, we're excited. Launches to the moon, better executed. Launches to Mars, better executed from the moon. In other words, leaving Earth's orbit with the fuel expenditure and so on and so forth. Or the mechanics of it? Is there an advantage? Would there be an advantage to launching future deep space projects from the moon?
Yeah, that's a great question, Steve. This is a really tricky thing. And it's a tricky thing because we assume that, if you wanted to send more stuff, you just build bigger rockets and send it. But there's a problem in that, and that is that the Earth's gravitational pull and the atmospheric resistance work together to create a limiting equation. There's only so much lift we can get out of the chemical fuels that we use. There's only so much energy bound up in the chemical bonds of what we use for fuel and oxidizer. And that limits the size of any payload we want to take off into space. So the thing to do if you want to do deep space exploration, including Mars, with a lot of payload, is you need to do that lifting from some smaller body, not Earth size, but someplace like the moon. Or you could do it from, what we call cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon, because there you don't have the gravity restrictions like you have on Earth and the air resistance. But what this requires now is we're building an infrastructure that allows us to assemble large spacecraft either in Earth orbit or in that cislunar space, or we do it from the surface of the moon. And that makes a whole lot of sense because the moon's gravity is only 1/6 that of Earth. So that means we could, to some degree, take even larger payloads. So if we want to explore Mars, we need to be thinking about mounting that expedition, starting that expedition from the moon rather than from Earth.
It's pretty amazing. I love it. It's pretty friggin' mind-blowing.
Yeah. If humanity...
Well, when you think of all the infrastructure you have to do something like that. But then the other cool thing is you don't have to restrict the shape of the launch vehicle.
Right. It doesn't have to be aerodynamic.
Doesn't have to be aerodynamic.
Right. The thing I think I'm most excited about is just seeing video and pictures of this next mission. And will there be a webcast? Will we be able to watch in real time, or will we just have to wait for all of these assets to come back?
So one of the really cool things about the internet is that NASA's taken advantage of how wide an audience they can reach through the internet. So not only do they have posted online all the information you could ever want about the mission coming up, they will also have plenty of live video. It's so easy these days to mount a camera on the exterior of the spacecraft or on the interior of the spacecraft.
I can't wait.
Just send those images back. And I think you'll be able to follow along on this mission 24/7 without any problem. Cool. Now, I don't think there's a camera in or pointed at the bathroom.
No. But you know what? Why not? Why not?
Right, well,
Just to see how it's done.
Maybe on OnlyFans you can access that.
Yes, NASA. Derrick, Preston just brought it up. NASA should have an OnlyFans account.
Talk about bringing in some extra funds.
I'm telling you, they would be able to fund how many trips to Mars?
Yeah.
So a question I have, you get, and I just was reading about the moon and what we know a lot, but we don't know either so much more to learn. Do they believe that there are things that can be mined on the moon that we have yet to take advantage of that might help in this program? And then also, while we know a lot about the surface, I wasn't that familiar with what's making the interior of the moon tick. I did not realize that there were actual moonquakes and things like that occurring on the moon. You always think of it as this inert rock doing nothing, but it's much more complex than we think.
Yeah, the moon is still seismically active. Right, it's still seismically active because the interior is still cooling. So that means the outer skin is still going to be shrinking around that cooling interior. So that stuff is still happening. But one of the things that most people don't realize is that the goal of landing, where it is we want to land on the moon is radically different from where the Apollo missions went on the moon. The Apollo missions went to portions of the moon that are easily visible from Earth and are on sort of the upper hemisphere of the planet, and easy to see without any problem at all. The goal for our upcoming missions is to land near the south pole of the moon. And we wanted land and established research bases near the craters on in that portion of the moon that are heavily shadowed from sunlight, because we found that many of those craters are filled with a frozen mixture of hydrogen and oxygen, which can be mined for all of those things that we really need there.
As fuel?
Not just fuel.
Okay, yeah.
We can mine it for fuel. We can mine it for oxygen to breathe. We can mine it to make water. Those basic things that we actually need to exist on the moon as a starter.
That's wild.
Yeah, and you know, if you're familiar with some of the missions in the Apollo, they did some scientific research. They didn't have the time or the capability to do as much as they can do now. They brought back, they did some explorations and they found materials to bring back, and they did some tests and things like that. But I'm really excited to see what they can find out geologically and all the other little questions that couldn't be answered in those first missions. And then that's going to hopefully lead to, like Derrick was saying, maybe a moon base. And
I want a moon base.
I know. It's
that's the thing that's the other thing that everybody needs to realize about these missions back to the moon. This is not a weekend event.
Yeah.
We're not going for the weekend. We're going to spend weeks and months on the moon.
Wow.
So, eventually, that's going to involve all of the kind of, I keep using the term infrastructure, but what I mean is, hey, we have to build buildings that people can live in, that people can work in a shirt sleeve environment, so that they could be comfortable working on the surface of the moon while building up our skill sets to be able to go on and explore Mars, while building the skill sets of exploration out on the surface of the moon in a long-term situation.
Yeah.
So it's a big operation eventually.
Derrick, our conversation is landing on a landmark of a day. It was 40 years ago today that the Challenger explosion took place. Obviously, when getting ready, especially with a rocket of this size, the largest ever, to be launched, they have to make sure that everything is absolutely 100% ready to go without any questions whatsoever, because obviously there have been tragedies that have taken place throughout space exploration. So they have a window coming up, which I think is a stretch of like 4 or 5 days, I think it's February 5th through the 11th or something along those lines. And they'll what's the potential of a scrub of this not happening? Is it any idea on that, Derrick?
So there are actually 3 launch windows set up, and the launch windows go from February 6th, I think, to February 12th, and then there's another set of dates in March, I believe, and another set of dates in April. And these are all set like this so that the Earth and the Moon can be in the proper position for us to make the trip as easily as possible. But the other reason why they're set up that way is because there could be some issues that need to be dealt with in the launch vehicle just before, right around the time of launch that they want to take care of. There could be some system failure that is identified before launch. So this weekend, supposedly on Saturday, what's going to happen is what's called a wet rehearsal, a wet dress rehearsal. And so they're going to sort of turn on all the systems in the rocket and capsule. They're going to fill all the tanks with fuel and oxidizer, 700,000 pounds of fuel and oxidizer.
Jesus.
And they're actually going to run the launch sequence right down to the last few seconds before somebody would press the button to launch.
Wow.
So that they can see that everything is operating the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, that wet dress rehearsal will turn up any problems or malfunctions that could occur on launch day.
I would imagine that if they do have to scrub at any point in time, and it happens pretty regularly, that adds a few dollars to the equation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does, because you're going right down to the wire, and then you're going to scrub and start over again. Yeah. But the most important thing about this is that if they decide for even the smallest reason that this is not a good time to launch because this small component is causing us some concern, that's the best decision they can make, because there will always be more launch days. There will always be more launch days. But you cannot afford to jeopardize the lives of astronauts that are willing to do this.
Well, the truth of the matter is,
take a step back if you need to.
We talk about being 100. You can't be 100% sure. You're never going to be 100% sure. So you're going to go through all this. And in fact, on Artemis 1, when I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Derrick, as Orion was coming back in, there was an uneven burn on the heat shielding, as something that they had to correct. Is that true?
Yeah, that's right. The heat shielding that they used, the ablative heat shielding that they used, didn't fall off the way they wanted it to fall off, the way that they had modeled it to fall off. So the ablation piece is really important. It gets really hot, well over 3,000 degrees, but the idea is that the material that's protecting the spacecraft as it comes back in, heats up and falls off, carrying that heat away with it, exposing new surface that can be heated to protect and then fall off as it comes in. Well, it wasn't falling off the way they wanted it to fall off, the way they needed it to fall off. So they went back and re-engineered that so that on this mission, they expect it will work the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So it could be anywhere in the mission that there could be some malfunction. But the other piece that goes along with this, Steve, is redundancy.
Yes.
What levels of redundancy do they have? Double and triple redundancy to make sure that if one circuit path fails, there's at least two other circuit paths available to carry signal to do what needs to be done.
It's astonishing.
It is.
It is astonishing. And at this point, I just want to mention that, when people hear about what's going on with this or looking at this launch, they should think about how incredibly complex this machinery is. It's some of the most complex machinery ever built on the planet.
Ever.
And it all has to work in perfect sequence.
And it's to put amazing. And to put, as you said, farther away from humanity than humans have ever gone.
That's historic.
That's historic. And when you put it, we were talking about this just recently. I know we have to break soon, but there's that scene in First Man.
Yep.
And Damien Chazelle's movie where Neil Armstrong is standing on the moon. And he's looking around, and the audio just cuts out, and he's just looking around. And that is, even though it's created artificially, it puts it into perspective. That's the dream, to keep going further and further. Mm-hmm. So this is happening, and it's going to happen, hopefully, within a couple days.
Yeah, yep, hope so.
That's right.
All right,
we should all remember that there's no pizza delivery out that far.
Yeah. Listen, Derrick, real quick before we wrap, anything you want to mention at the Institute that's happening for people to check out?
Oh my goodness! Come on, February, the Universal exhibit is coming.
Yes,
it's the most incredible thing. It's going to be a fabulous exhibit. The first time anything like this has ever been done before. Partnership between Franklin Institute and Universal Studios, creating an amazing exhibit about how they go about creating all of their superhero universes. Oh, can't miss it.
You guys have done a great Marvel exhibit. You've done it with Disney. You've done it with the Star Wars franchise. You love the science, but clearly you love the movies and you love the magic of cinema.
What a perfect way to enter into the world of science through superheroes, for whom science has played such a great role.
Yeah, it's true. All right, Derrick, thank you so much. We could go on for another hour, but nobody wants that but us, so we're going to get out of here.
Friday, February 6th. Keep your eyes open, and also go to the NASA website to learn more about Artemis 2.
All right, we'll do it. Thank you, Derrick Pitts, guys. Chief astronomer of the Franklin Institute, one of the smartest people we've ever met, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet as well.
I'm blown away.
I am too.
I'm blown away that I thought, okay.
I thought they had the lunar module all ready to go and everying.
My father-in-law worked on the LEM at Grumman in Long Island.
Kidding.
Yeah, but that was waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
That was ready to go. I'm like, they're just taking proposals now.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it all plays out. All right, we got to take a break. We're going to do that very thing. But you know what? Let's get an invite for our Galentine's Day. Hey, ladies, are you there? Are you there? Did you enjoy that space chat? All right, let's get caller number 8 at 610-660-9333. You have to be 21 years of age and able to join us coming up on February 12th. 68 p.m. at Liberty Bell Beer Garden inside Parks Casino. It's our sorority party. It's a Galentine's Day bash. Let's get you on board. Call right now. We'll be back in a moment. Stay put. Who handles that? Jersey, PA, Delaware.
Right.
When you get busted on a bridge. And how do they? Because, did they get you going onto the bridge or coming off of the bridge, Rob?
I was coming onto the bridge through Jersey. And if you ever get on 42, where it merges on the 168, there's a kind of a point there. And that's where he was sitting.
Okay.
And he got me before I got to the tolls. So what I had to do was go to Camden and actually pay those tickets.
Okay.
That's confusing. Yeah, I never thought about that. What do you do? Does the cop car turn around halfway across the bridge? You're now Pennsylvania's issue. Wow.
Right. So if I remember right, he pulls a U-turn around the tolls and goes back, and I guess post up where he got me from.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Rob. That's a record. 6 tickets in 47 minutes. All right. I need to hear about this. Let's go to Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Good morning.
Hey, it's Funeral Anthony. Remember I called you guys?
Are you a funeral director?
No, I'm the one who got kicked out of the funeral.
Ah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, was it your ex-wife?
Yeah.
Now I remember.
Nice. All right, what else did you do, Anthony?
So we had just moved to the main line in Malvern.
This is your ex-wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her and I, we had just moved to the main line in Malvern, and I didn't realize the speed limit on Route 30, Lancaster Avenue, changes so much.
It does, yeah.
And they're strict. Yeah.
I got pulled over. She's in the passenger seat. She's blitzed out of her mind. I got pulled over for speeding, and the cop was just basically so disgusted with her. And she's like, just bring her home now.
Okay. I'm surprised you didn't say let her drive. Because
you got out of it because she was so drunk and annoying that the guy just wanted you to get her home.
They didn't want to deal with her. I mean, she was we had just come back from a Cheap Trick concert. And
that should have gotten you off for the ticket. You know what they do? They're very, very strict around when you're actually around it on the campus of Villanova.
Yes.
That's where they get really, really strict.
Yeah, through that area. Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of schools, that's where they kind of tune it up a bit, especially school zones in particular, when you get a lot of pedestrians.
Also the Jersey Shore. Yeah. Like if you're driving in any shore town, go the speed limit because you're going to get pulled over and stop at the stop signs. I mean, do the things you're supposed to do anyway, but definitely do them at the Jersey Shore.
As a part-time resident now there, I appreciate that fully, 100%, because there's so many bikes and pedestrians.
So, and the shore's for a different vibe. You do your street racing here.
Yes. You do that here. Speaking of the street racing, I remember we had somebody we used to work with ended up over at the Broad and Pattison area. Accidentally ended up in the lineup for the street racing. We're just trying to go somewhere. You didn't know it.
Okay.
And they're pulling ahead and they're like, you guys ready to go? She's like, I'm just trying to get to the sports complex. I'm not racing. I'm not here to race.
They still do they put the big clamp down on that, but do they still race there?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
So. I'm going to go to John. Had a bit of an issue with tickets. Hey, John, good morning.
Yo, good morning.
Good morning. What's up, buddy?
What's going on? So, when I was 17, I just got my license, had a sports car, and lost my license within, a year.
Okay.
I had it suspended for about 10 years.
You had your license suspended for 10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
I drove every single day, racked up about $8,000 worth of moving violations.
$8,000. So you were driving with a suspended license, and they didn't incarcerate you?
No. So if you don't know, back in the day, every time you got pulled over, they added 6-month suspension to your license.
Okay.
So now, if you have any suspension at all, now they take your car.
Okay. What's your record like now, John?
Now it's good.
It's good. You got past.
But it like what he's saying is it accrues. So like every time you just keep getting 6 months added to it every time.
Okay.
Right. So every time you got pulled over, it added 6 months. So I was getting pulled over every time. Speeding, blowing red lights, So the good thing about all this, about the $8,000, I had a good friend of mine that worked down at the parking authority, knew a couple people, and they wiped out about 90% of my fines.
Oh wow!
Wow. Well, that doesn't seem.
Well, wait, was it in Philly?
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah. See, remember they got in trouble for that.
Oh,
it was happening
I do
all the
remember
time.
that.
And,
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, helping people get off of the tickets. Yeah, I remember that.
If you knew people back in the day, if you knew people, they helped you out, but now they got busted down there, so they cleaned out.
It blows my mind. People who've had so many moving violations, so many infractions, and yet they're still out driving. I
know.
And I'm like, at what point do they finally yank your license fully?
Yeah. Or do they advance it to a very harsh penalty? You know what I mean? Because,
How do you...
I know. It's like the people who get, 8 or 9 DUIs.
Right.
Yeah. Why are you not in jail now?
I had a friend who, so the legal limit now is 0.08, but back in the day, it used to be 0.1. And so I had a buddy of mine who was 20 years old. He blew a 0.09. All right. So, and the cop, because he was under the legal limit at that time, was about to let him go. And then at the very, very, very last second, he's like, wait a second, you're not even 21. And
oh man.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
And so he ended up losing his license for a couple of years.
I thought you were going to say right after the results came in, the dude was like, yeah, in your face, man. He's like, you know what? We can do something about that. Let me go to this. This will be interesting. I have Deb on the line. Hi, Deb. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Deb?
So, I was like 17. This is like 20 odd years ago, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. We're driving to Rocky Horror Picture Show, so we're all dressed in like black makeup and the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
And I'm driving my friend's car, which was a Dodge Neon, to let you know exactly how long ago this was. And I'm speeding. I'm going like 80 miles an hour. I had no idea. I'm on 295 in South Jersey, and I'm driving in the left lane, just going. And I see somebody come behind me, and they're tailgating me. So I slow down a lot because I figured let them hit me.
Yeah.
So the lights come on, and it's the cop tailgating me, and I didn't notice the lights. And so he pulls me over. He tells me to get to the right, so I go to the left.
Oh my God.
And,
oh my God.
And mind you, I'm very sober at this point.
Right.
And so I pull to the left. He gets out of the car. He has me roll down the window, and he says, "Do you know you're right from your left?" And I'm like, "I don't think so. Maybe not. I don't know." And he said, "Do you know that you were going 80 miles an hour?" I said, "No, I didn't." "Well, why did you slow down then?" And I was like, "Well, you were tailgating me, and I always thought that if you hit me, I would get paid, so I slowed down."
Oh my God.
I never saw a cop write a ticket so quickly. What the hell?
Yeah. You were saying literally everything wrong. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
What if the cop got out of the car and he was dressed as Frankenfooter?
Oh my God, that would have been the best. All right, thanks for the call. All right, well, anyhow, it's kind of a rite of passage, so my son got his first speeding ticket.
Sounds like he handled it well.
It did. And
how excessive was the speed? Do we know?
It was on a stretch of road where people routinely do 90 miles an hour, and he was doing 90 miles an hour.
Okay.
So it was one of the main interchanges, but so it is what it is. And listen, the cause and effect will happen. He will slow down.
Good.
He will take it easier because he doesn't want this happening again. But the biggest thing was he was really nervous to tell me and his mother about it. Yeah, and I was cool with it, but I can see why. I might freak out on him or something like that. But he's a good kid, so that was all I had.
Yeah, he's not like he's a scofflaw.
All right, well, thanks for sharing the stories. We do need to take a break because we have a series of guests who are going to be joining us when we return. So make sure that you stay with us. And while we do take a break, I would like to give something to you. We will take caller number 14 and set you up with a $50 Buffalo Wild Wings gift card. And they. Not Buffalo Bill. It's Buffalo Wild Wings. They have specials on food from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Great deals on drinks all day. Valid participating locations. All supplies last dine in only 215-263 WMMR. Call 14. We'll be right back. Classic Friday, March 3rd. And later that day, the band Everclear will be performing. It's a 5 p.m. show, pretty early show.
It's great.
Because we're all going to be up early and have a hell of a day in front of us. So it's great that it's not insanely late. And then Saturday, Lit and Fuel will be performing. And they're also doing this thing, pond skimming, where you can ski across the water in costume.
I've seen that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You come down the hill and then you're going fast enough to actually go across the water. And then a fireworks show that night on Saturday.
I love it. Everything is perfect.
Tickets for Mountain Fest concerts are on sale now. Any lift ticket for one of those days is valid for the concert entry, and season pass holders get in for free. And VIP packages are available. You can click on events at WMMR.com. We're a ways off, but March 3rd is when it's going to be.
Excellent.
It's very, very cool. I saw something a term I had not been privy to this morning, and it's something called quiet quitting.
That was the worst hair band of the 80s.
No, that was Quiet Riot.
Oh.
Well, they weren't the worst, but quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting? Is that like ghosting your job or something like that?
That's what I thought it might be, but it's not. It's a workplace trend that's getting some press lately, and it does not involve sneaking out of work and heading for the hills. Instead, advocates describe it as doing the absolute minimum their jobs require and refusing to work extra hours or take on extra assignments while focusing on out-of-work activities.
So, like, they're forcing themselves to be fired or be let go?
No.
They're keeping, I get this, they're keeping the bare bones minimum requirement that they need to do to be working at the job, but they spend a lot of time, say, online or taking like hour and a half.
What does that have to do about quitting?
I don't know the name either, Kathy. I didn't understand that.
You're quitting without quitting. You're resigning yourself to doing you're still working, but you're paring down to do the absolute minimum to make it to retain your job.
You're quitting part of your job.
So what are you doing for 24 years?
They say it's about having an identity outside the workplace and refusing to let work rule your life.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong then.
Critics, including presumably some of their bosses, say some of it sounds a lot like old-fashioned slacking.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't know. I disagree. And hear me out for a moment.
All right.
So when you are forging your career,
right,
and you're beginning, yes, extra time, extra hours, extra assignments, impressing the boss, doing things like this are absolutely crucial, I think. And I certainly lived my life that way.
Yes.
Once I found a career I wanted to get.
Right.
Now, when I was working at McDonald's, I didn't give a damn. I just cared. I got in and out of there when I wanted. You know, I was a teenager. But when I started to realize, okay, I need to make a living, and I also found something I love to do, radio. I spent a lot of extra time at work and didn't mind it and was enjoying learning what I was doing.
Right.
And that ethos has lasted a long time. But I have to say in the past few years, because we have had a successful career and one that we've spent a lot of extra time in, I have also now made it a point to have my life outside of that.
Yeah.
And taking on extra assignments and things like that, I don't feel the need to do anymore.
I don't think that's what this is, though. I think, at least, and maybe you've read the article. I think, at least what I think is, they're saying slacking, and that correlation is not between simply maintaining a work life and a regular life and balancing the two. But I think it means, like at work, you'll never say, I'll take on a project. I'll invest extra time in this. You're the second the clock hits 5, or whatever, you're out the door. You arrive at the last possible second. You take every second. And mind you, you're entitled. But also, if there are ways to dawdle throughout the day.
I don't think it's that.
You don't think it's that?
No, and I think the reason that some of the critics might say that it's slacking is because, man, how many people do you know that take work home with them? I know plenty of them.
Yeah.
And, I do.
All the time.
We do.
I work from home all the time.
Yeah. A good probably third of my job I do at home. But I also, my buddy Steve is just constantly, he's taking work home with him.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think that the workload in some jobs, this is not everything, this is not an overall thing, but in some jobs, It's too much, man.
Do they literally spell out what they're talking about there, or is it as vague as it seems to be?
I'll read a little bit further on this. Gallup calls it not engaged. Jim Harder, chief scientist for Gallup's workplace, a well-being research center, says survey data shows workers are less engaged. And earlier this morning we were chatting. I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to ask a question. Say what you're going to say.
I'm going to start a conversation.
Okay, all right.
So
Go into it. No problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll hold.
Earlier this morning we were talking about a I forgot what conversation it was that we were having, but I said something. I was given like a ballpark number, and I said 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Right.
And Casey went into the 6, 7 hand motion thing. And so this morning, it made me think of this. I stumbled across this thing. It is a new guide to slang, to the Gen Alpha slang. And
how recently updated?
This is fresh. So these are now to the middle schoolers who are saying this stuff. Some of these might be old, but they're ones I've never heard a single one of these.
All right,
not a single one of these.
This is so frustrating.
I know, but it states here, while this guide is here to help, it comes with a word of warning. If you're not in one of those generations and or you need an online list to tell you what these words mean, you shouldn't say them out loud unless you're trying to be embarrassing. Then by all means, say any of them you want.
Okay.
Are you guilty of this case?
Well, so listen, I called bingo at my daughter's high school on Friday night, and I got 067, and I was like, I couldn't wait to get 067 because I was like, 067. And there were girls, students that were there that were, selling 50-50 raffles, and they all were like, oh, God. Apparently, it's not a thing anymore.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's the risk you run. This stuff is so transient that you think you're being hip, and you're not.
I think what ended up killing it was were the adults adopting it, and then once the adults adopted, the kids were like, this isn't cool anymore.
My 7-year-old nephew, though, thinks it's awesome still.
Okay.
So it's still out there.
He's the
lingering.
outlier.
All right, so here are a couple of them, and please let me know if you've heard these before. Okay, we have 4 plus 4. Anybody ever heard that one?
No, but I know it equals 8.
Yeah. Yes, exactly, and that's what it means. Only ATE, as in I ate something.
Okay.
Holy jeez.
It means 8 as in past tense. Instead of saying 8, you say 4 plus 4.
Yeah, 8 is like when you succeeded at something.
Is there an example of it in a sentence?
No.
Okay.
So Casey, explain what you mean.
Meaning like like my daughter, she was in a play and she just ate that performance.
So
like,
this is the separate.
Okay.
This is 8 or eat.
Okay.
Something done very well, often related to clothes, as in you ate that outfit, girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but that's different than 4 plus 4.
I've never eaten my clothes.
Or maybe that means the same thing.
Wait, you've never eaten like your little pieces of your jeans or anything like that? No. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like when cutoffs, if you had like little frays, chew on them, and I've done that. But I generally stay away from swallowing any kind of material that is cloth based.
Do you think you could eat an entire pair of jeans?
Maybe over the course of a year.
Yes.
I might be able to.
By the time Artemis 3 launches, can you have eaten a total pair
Dude, that should actually be like a little experiment that I should do. I should bring in like a shirt or something.
The broadcaster Preston Elliott died today
I wonder
after
if-
eating jeans.
I wonder how we should talk to Dr. Mike. I wonder how bad that would be for me if I ate just the tiniest little piece.
And ate an entire shirt?
It would take over a year
It would
because
take-
if you figured you'd take a T-shirt and cut it up into 365 pieces,
Right.
those pieces would still be too big to be eating every
You're
day.
probably right, but
You
I
know?
think it's worth the exploration.
Maybe a sock.
Yeah.
A sock.
You
Yeah.
know? Something that's not so
I
big.
think so.
Something all natural, right? Organic clothing.
Oh, they don't have to be 100% cotton, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll work on that. Circle back.
Dare to dream.
Put a pin in it.
Yeah, that's how we landed on the moon.
Here's another cliche. All right, here's one. Baka.
Oh, like as in Chewbacca, yeah.
B-A-K-A. No.
No?
It is a Japanese word that means crazy or foolish, and it's popular in the anime community.
Baka.
That
Okay.
is-
Unfamiliar.
You're Baka, man. You're Baka, man. I like you. Chopped. Anybody heard this
Yeah,
one?
we
Yes.
talked about this one.
Oh, we
already.
did
This means
already.
unattractive, right?
In fact, was it Liv who came on with us? Oh gosh, because she was talking about how she felt chopped this morning.
Oh, because like
She didn't wash
do
her hair. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
look
I've heard it.
chopped.
See, I already let that one go. Now, there's Choppelganger.
Yes.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Do tell.
So it's like the Temu version of your doppelganger. So it's like we would call it the Wish.com version of somebody that looked like you.
So someone who is less attractive, looks similar to you, but is less attractive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think as our generation, we would say it like, oh, that looks like Preston's like crazy uncle.
Okay.
Or like Preston's crazy cousin.
And where
kind of
did-
looks like you, but not.
Where did Wish.com come from? What is that?
I don't know that one.
Oh, Wish.com was a website pre-Temu where you would buy things, but whatever arrived, the product was nothing like what it was online.
Okay. So the Temu classification now is the
Wish.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
So doppelganger, and I'll read you the official definition. A portmanteau of chopped and doppelganger.
Okay.
It's someone who looks like another person but worse. All right, clock that.
Clock that. Well, okay. So in football terms, when you clock it, it means you stop the clock. You spike the football to stop the clock. I wonder if it has anything to do with that.
Not really.
Okay.
And not knock out like you got clocked.
No, it means I understand or agree, but it's not to be confused with older slang when clock meant to see.
I would
something.
say copy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Roger
Yeah,
that.
Roger that,
Roger
copy that. Yep, clock that, apparently as
Okay.
well.
All right.
All right, not familiar with this one. Coworker core.
Coworker core.
Yeah.
I mean, is that like a click? A work click?
No. So these are like middle school people saying this.
Oh.
Coworker core. Does it mean like a outfit that's a little like older for you? Like you looks like you work in an office?
It's a description. I'll go ahead and give this definition. A description for all things that are not funny or uninteresting in a way that appeals to older generations. So kinda, I guess so.
That's
Everything we're saying right now.
Yeah, totally. It's coworker core. Fambushing is another one.
That's fambushing.
FAMBUSHING. So it's part of the word is ambushing.
Oh, I got you. So like a paparazzi sort of. No,
Well-
but fam. It's not fan. It's fam.
FAM.
Fambushing.
Yeah. So the fam part is short for family.
Right.
Family and ambushing.
So I got fambushed, like your parents jumped on you and were either excited about you or questioning you
Or dropped by
anything.
unexpectedly.
Or I'm thinking like taking pictures of you
Oh.
In the shower?
In the shower. No. When you're like you're just over it. Because I know that we're guilty of it for like pre-dance pictures and stuff like that.
Yes.
But maybe not. I don't know.
All right. So, yeah, it's a combination of family and ambushing and refers to young people. This is the opposite of kind of what you guys are saying. It's young people checking where their parents are on location sharing apps in order to get free food.
Oh my God, that
Hi,
happened.
Grandmom.
That totally happened to us. Matt and I met up with some of his friends at the Wegmans, and suddenly the guy's daughter and boyfriend showed up.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
So they found out where they were and they jumped on it so they could get free food.
100%.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, if you're like here, it gives a description. It says, if you find mom at Chipotle, you ask her for a burrito. So you look on your app and then you could text them real quick. Hey, I see you're there. Can you grab me one of these?
Yep.
That's kind of fambushing. I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's nice. All right. HTN.
HTN.
Yeah, you guys will never get this.
Hot to not.
No. It stands for higher tier normies. Which describes fairly good-looking men. It's apparently an acronym from the online incel community.
Fairly good-looking men, normies. Fairly good-looking
High-tier normies, HTN.
So a guy who's not dazzling but mildly attractive.
Better than average.
Better than average.
I think is what this means.
All right.
All right.
HTN.
IWEL, IWEL. It's a comment section acronym for I wouldn't even lie. Okay.
All
right, here's one, MOG. And I know what I thought of immediately when I saw this.
Oh, from
half
Barf.
man, yeah.
What? Yeah.
Barf.
Spaceballs.
Yeah.
I'm a man and a dog. I'm a MOG.
I've heard this, and I'm trying to think of how I heard it applied.
Okay.
Mogging. No, you have to give it to me. But
It means to be more attractive than someone, but in an intentional or aggressive way. How are you more attractive than someone in an intentional or
I'm better
aggressive
looking
way?
than you are.
I guess you scream at them how good looking you are.
Mog.
Yeah. You get in their face and you just yell, Mog.
Would like Mean Girls fit into that?
Maybe. I don't know. Somehow or another. Yeah.
Mogging.
Flaunting?
All right, here's one. Neurospicy.
Oh, is it something about texture?
No.
Okay.
It is another way of saying neurodivergent, which can mean on the spectrum or something along those lines.
Neurospicy?
He's cute. He's neurospicy too.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
All right, but isn't spicy a new way of saying like gay?
Is it? Oh, I have seen it used in kind of a fun way like that.
Right.
But
So I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's
Gay
a little,
and on the
I
spectrum?
think he's a little spicy. Like, and it might not even be gay. It might just be
hot.
No. I was thinking like it's more like I don't want to say derogatory because I don't necessarily know it in the context. No. But like more like a effeminate. You know.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's a little spicy.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna look this up.
My friends and I call soda water spicy water because it's got bubbles.
Okay.
So maybe I need to change that now.
No, that's possibly.
Don't create your own words.
Yeah.
Some creep came up with these.
Normie, someone who's considered average or normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it can be used as an insult as well.
Right. You're a normie.
Normie, look at you. You're so normal.
You're so mog.
Yeah. Twin is now used to describe your best friend.
Oh, okay.
She's my twin. He's my twin. Whatever. We are so back is apparently the opposite of it's so over.
Okay.
We are so back. That's a good thing. And then the last thing, Zoomer perm.
Oh.
Oh, wait. I've been seeing this jump up on TikTok.
Okay.
Which is?
Is it like you hold the hairdryer really close to your hair and it like gives it a little curl?
So it means curly hair on top and short on the sides.
Yeah.
So a variation of like a mullet.
Or no, more. I'm thinking more like the what do they got? The alpaca or the broccoli?
Yeah.
Broccoli thing where it's kind of poofed up on top. No, we're looking at a full-on perm mullet here.
Yeah.
A picture of that right
mullet.
now.
All right, so I mixed up my two words. It wasn't spicy; it was zesty. So zesty means flamboyant or
effeminate.
Effeminate
if you're a male.
Gay-like mannerisms.
Okay.
And
zesty.
Yeah, and
so
it can
spicy's different.
And it can be used derogatorily.
Spicy.
So
All right.
so spicy. I was absolutely wrong on.
All right, so zesty, not necessarily a compliment. It's kind of a jab.
I guess it's who it's coming from and
guess so.
and the
Context.
intentions and context of it.
Imagine being a slave to the vernacular and having to just be up on all of this and feeling that you're not in the loop.
I guess though, at a certain age, it just happens naturally.
your way?
Because I remember, Steve, the words that were popular when I was a kid don't even exist. Nobody uses them anymore. You know, stuff like bitchin' and gnarly and things like that were when I was in the 80s. But we just said them all the time, and it just came into vogue, and then at some point it just went away.
For me, it was prithee.
Prithee. Yonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the generation of people who said fat.
Yeah.
P-H-A-T.
Yep.
I did hear both my niece and nephew have been using OMG a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's popping up for little kids.
Well, you talked about how the derivation of was it OMG or LOL?
No, he said OMG.
OMG
yesterday.
was from like a letter in the early 1900s.
Yes.
Do you know the breakdown of PHAT, what it stands for technically?
Pretty hot and tempting.
There you go.
Well, I've been doing it in my Dell
Yes,
Automotive
it's fat.
live reads
Yeah.
lately.
But Matt and I both looked at each other. We're like, did they say OMG? I'm like, I think I have some stickers and some T-shirts that say OMG I can bring back again.
But I remember the day when bad meant good.
Oh.
And it might have even been in the Run DMC song, not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
when
You're
they
not
kinda-
bad.
I remember
bad, you're
one
nothing.
time I saw an interview. It was New Kids on the Block, and it was Donnie Wahlberg talking to Geraldo Rivera, and he told Geraldo how dope he was.
Oh.
And Geraldo turns to the audience. He's like, "What does that mean? Is that good? Does that mean that's a good thing?" So
That means you're dope.
Yeah.
you're dope. But it was about that time. And that's how far back I go as well. When I was like, oh well, that's stupid. You know, that was one of the first times I remember hearing a new slang word and going, "That's dumb." And I had officially grown up a notch.
Yeah.
At that
These
point,
kids.
yeah. But it continues to evolve. All languages do.
Yeah.
I would imagine what what slang words, this is obviously in English, but I wonder in Italian and French and even all kinds of language. Swahili, I'm sure, has their own slang terms.
Well, look at
and Farsi and everything.
Speculative science fiction, like you take Star Trek. How many hundreds and hundreds of years in the future?
Yeah.
And it still sounds relatively similar to our language. It would have evolved. There'd be all sorts of references and sort of things that we would be unfamiliar with. Of course, to watch a show that you couldn't understand would be a problem.
All right, so anyhow, you are now enlightened.
There you go.
With your new Gen Alpha slang, which will be changing next week.
Yep.
I'm sure of it. What were you going to bring up beforehand? Was anything important?
Totally forgot.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I have something else I'm going to mention too. I saw this. I thought this was pretty cool. Now, from time to time, I do try to bring something to the table that might actually be beneficial to you, other than just talking about mindless stuff, which we do from time to time, which we all need, by the way. But I saw this on a Reddit thread. And this mainly is about women speaking about their quote-unquote hard pill that they had to swallow that made their lives better. But as I read through these, I think these are not gender-specific at all.
Applies to everyone?
Even though these came from women. Yeah, and from time to time, I actually set aside a little file while I'm doing prep, and I go through, and I find interesting things. And I have this file. It's literally in my briefcase, and it's called Self-Help. As I find little nuggets of wisdom from time to time about just your mental state and
are you the filer?
I've always been the filer. But I'm not breaking out the file right now. That's literally, I say that stuff from my personal self.
So help us to these things that transcend.
Like this one will go into that file too. And I like to break them out every now and then, read them if I need to do a little self-reflection or self-analysis. And these cover different aspects of our lives. So
that might better your life.
Here's one that I'll give to you. It says there's no guarantee that you will end up meeting a great partner. You need to make your life as awesome as you can without that. It seriously is luck and timing and out of your control. So these are little affirmations, maybe, if you're struggling with certain things that you might consider.
So go for the first guy with a job.
No, but like having a partner shouldn't define who you are as a person.
Yeah.
No.
And if you don't have a partner and if you can't find someone that complements you in your life, then don't force it.
That is a massive thing that I will tell. Whatever wisdom I've accrued in my life, don't try to find your happiness in someone else. Mm-hmm. You need to be happy at your core, and then you're going to find someone who's going to be good for you. But a lot of people place the onus for their joy on other people. And when you disabuse yourself of that notion, then I think you'll do better. But that's just me. What do I know?
It also opens up your mind to what your partner is. Might just be a best friend. Might be somebody who lives across the country. It might not be somebody that you live with in a domicile all the time.
You don't need to settle for someone who's just mogging.
Dude.
What was that? I already forget what it means.
Being aggressively more attractive than everyone else.
Thank you.
All right, so here's another one. You don't need to get into this endless mental loop of trying to figure out why someone did that. Whatever it is, that thing that somebody else did that is really bothering you, maybe it doesn't have a direct effect on you, like financially or something that's deep where you really have to figure out the problem. But you don't have to get into that endless mental loop of trying to figure out why that person did that thing.
There's ultimately,
if it becomes unhealthy for you. You know?
There's some times where it's the natural way things are going to play out. But why?
Yeah.
I would assume that's something that people who are close to suicide, why?
Maybe.
And you have no control. I mean, in case the AA, you can only control you, and your response to that. That's
Keep
it.
your side of the street clean and don't worry about what's going on the other side of the street. I just keep thinking of that one clip from MacGruber when he's banging the headstone. He goes, Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
It's the best. And then the groundskeeper's just looking at him.
Why did you do that?
All right, here's one I really like. Not everyone who should apologize will apologize, and that shouldn't prevent you from healing.
I apologize.
That guy needed to apologize.
He did.
All right.
the judge made him apologize.
He held on to his mom's body for a long time.
He did, but he loved her.
But let me read that again for you. Not everyone who should apologize will apologize, and that should not prevent you from healing. Okay, at some point, you may come to a realization that they're just not going to budge, and you just have to realize that there's only so much that you can do.
Agreed.
You know?
In general, that's a good philosophy. It's hard to, in the moment, accept that.
Yep.
That why aren't you taking accountability in this situation? But whether that comes or not, it's how you process it and how you move forward. What it is a lot of times you're putting the power of your happiness or moving forward in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
And you're going to get locked.
And it's easier said than done sometimes.
It is.
It may take time.
Yes.
And so, listen, then that goes into resentments, and I think we all have resentments, and it's really, really unhealthy mentally to hold on to resentments, whether you have it's justified or unjustified. Ultimately, it's best for your own mental state. And I'm saying this, but I'm guilty of it as well, to just let go of those resentments. That whole triangle of obsession.
You become narcissistic too, in the way that you approach these things. Like, what if Hitler had finally said, "I'm sorry"? It wouldn't have helped.
No, it wouldn't have helped.
Nope.
All right, here's another good one. And this speaks to me personally. This says, "I'm always going to look like me. I will never.
Oh no!
I will never be able to change any of the physical attributes of myself that I don't like, besides my fitness.
Yeah.
So I need to stop feeling insecure about those things and just embrace that this is the only face, body I am ever going to have."
And so, even if you can celebrate that, celebrate what you are, and how you are, and how you came into this world. And I years ago,
I hated the way I looked growing up.
But then there was when I did finally, and I'm not going to say, it's not like I was John Merrick, like I'm a human being. But when I made peace with who I am, it was a lot more pleasant.
Yeah.
Instead of living in the world of, you did, Preston. You were a high-priced fashion model, a foot model.
My feet are beautiful.
Yeah. But I mean, to be taxed by maintaining that, and always being compared. And it's one of the big mental issues that a lot of kids are dealing with vis-a-vis social media.
Absolutely.
So I applied this in the photo taking social media world when I would have friends. We would, every dinner, every time we hung out, always ended with a group photo of who was there, and we would hang out. We would post those photos. And I would always try to get somewhere in the group to not look as short, or to kind of like stand on my toes a little bit, or like look who I'm, how are you posing or whatever. And then I realized it's just a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
It's a photo.
Yeah.
If you don't look the best, it doesn't matter, because somebody else posted it because they loved how they looked. And that photo is not going to be like hanging over you at all times. It's just a flash in the pan.
Keep a picture of Nick Nolte's mugshot.
Oh, my God.
You'll never feel bad again.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of Marissa's, I'm so glad that, early on I realized, listen, I know that I'm not going to be like super tall, and I'm, little vertically challenged, but it does not matter.
Yeah.
You just go out, the thing, like with any photograph, I'm just happy I'm in that photograph. I get to go experience this life.
Yeah.
And as long as you're comfortable with yourself, everything else will fall into place. Truly, everything will.
So that Nickelodeon song resonates with you.
100%.
Just please don't bend over to try to make us feel taller. We're fine. Stand straight.
The weather's the same down here, I assure you.
All right. This one also resonated with me and was kind of a hard lesson, too. And this happens, I think it gets easier as you get older.
I'm surprised, by the way, Preston, that this was focused specifically on women. Because
all the responses are from women.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but I think it applies to anybody, know? All right. So I like this one. Not all friends are meant to be lifelong friends. It's okay to lose touch. People come and go. Some people are in your life for a season. When I embraced this, I stopped taking it so personally when I grew apart from someone.
And it gives you the latitude to betray them.
Yeah. Now, there were people that I swore that I thought for sure would, it's in some way, shape, or form be in my life forever. And after losing touch for several years and trying to reconnect, it didn't reconnect, And I felt kind of bad about that because I wanted to reconnect with somebody. It happened on a few times. And listen, I'm sure it's happened the other way too, with other people that have come to me and I've kind of like, no, I've moved on. Not said that type of thing, but maybe just, ghosted or whatever it may be. I have to remind myself that they might feel that way that I felt about somebody else. And it's just the way we grow.
Do you know what we tend to think also is we tend to think, this must be exactly what they're thinking about at this time right now. That this is, and a lot of times it's not that way. Some people collect friends.
Yeah.
Some people really judge themselves by the amount of friends they have. I would rather have quality friends, and I don't need a lot than quantity,
I look back and about every 10 years, 20, 30, wherever you are in your life, or it's happened to me, you have people around you, your closest friends, kind of reflect your life and where you are, in schooling, in work, in whatever the next step that it is. And again, as you said, it's okay to just go on this path. There's that famous line that Pierre would always share where it was like, it's just, he would use it about the radio station, but it applies to life. Like, you're just driving down your highway and sometimes a car comes on and sometimes the car comes off and sometimes it joins you back again. Sometimes you never see it again.
That's a great way to put it.
But everyone's always welcome.
Yeah. Go ahead, Russ.
Here's another one. And I like this. Is short and simple, but it says, love isn't enough to make a relationship work. Meaning that you can be, terribly in love with someone, but it does take work.
Yeah.
It just because you love them doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship will fully work out. It takes more than that.
You're always, but let me add the caveat that it shouldn't be when you hear people say marriage is a lot of work. It's going to be work. It shouldn't be a constant, massive undertaking.
No, I'm talking about compromise,
right?
Honesty, things like that. Respect, yeah.
So Claire and I guess just about a year ago, and we've been together for years, and I love her dearly. She's everything. And we had a reset on how we were perceiving things, and it's been that much better.
Yeah, it's healthy.
And it's healthy, and not to be afraid to say, okay, where are we right now? And then you don't want to get lazy, and you don't want to get into a rut. And people look at people with who with these long storied relationships. You've got to evolve a bit,
Yep. Here's another one. Now, this one's a little odd, a little bit different. And they even started by saying, it sounds bleak, but once I realized how little everyone actually cares about me, I was able to stop putting so much pressure on myself. I don't fully wrap my mind around that.
To stop being consumed with what other people think about you.
I guess so.
And then to think that people are thinking about you that way is actually a level of narcissism. That someone isn't dealing with their own life issues and they're not thinking about why. Listen, I love to be on time and early, and I think, what are people going to think? I used to think this way, and I still am on early and get there. But listen, they're not sitting there going, where's Steve? We just put out the couscous.
Right.
No one gives a rat's
They're thinking
ass.
about themselves.
They're themselves.
Yeah.
I was hoping this would be on the list where it's like people aren't thinking about you as much as you think that they're thinking.
Yeah,
about
that's
you.
a good way to put it. Yeah.
They've got their own lives.
And then there's one more, and then we'll wrap this up. It says, consistency over quickness. There's very rarely a quick fix for problems, real or perceived, in your life that will fix it forever. Building better habits can be boring and difficult, but the payoff is usually better and more permanent.
What would that, any correlation to anything you've experienced in life?
I wasn't even listening to myself when I read that. No,
it's just about consistency. There's no quick fixes.
No, yeah, it's slow and steady.
Yep.
It wins the race, essentially. It's going to take a while. Building better habits can be boring and difficult, but the payoff is better and more permanent than trying to find the quick fix. So, it's patience.
Like maybe before you do the orbit around the moon, have the landing craft
ready to go.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. It was from Reddit, and it was a...
this is a sneak preview of the filer?
Maybe the therapist. Or something
well, we have
like
the
that.
love doctor.
How
about the proctologist?
But I don't have to be... this wouldn't be... I think the love doctor is more couple therapy.
Right, yeah.
And this is more you. It's about you.
I've never been to me.
What is this, Marissa? Oh, we have this on WMMR.com. How many alter egos does Preston have? And it lists not only the ones that I have been come to known as, but all the photos that come along with it. I do have one called The Therapist.
Yeah.
Already. Yeah. Okay. So, and there was, Marissa, can you pull the text back up? There was one that I wanted to acknowledge. It said, man, did I need this today. Thank you guys. You all rock. So happy we could help you out in some way, shape, or form. We try to help at least a couple people every day if we can.
I mean, we try to at least negate the damage we're doing.
Yeah. All right. With that and wrapping that up, I do want to mention the fact that going on right now, voting is up for day number 3 in the third category for the Wmmammys.
Whammy!
Yeah. And today's voting is for the rock tour of the year. And it's Oasis, Linkin Park, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Coldplay, My Chemical Romance, The Who, Ghost, Eric Clapton, Nine Inch Nails, Disturbed, Deftones, and David Byrne. And all you have to do is click on PrestonSteve.com, go to the link, and then click on the one you want to vote for. That's all you have to do. And then we'll have until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning for you to vote, and then we'll put up the final category, and then they'll have the voting go till Friday morning, and then we'll reveal who the winners are.
It's the first swing in it.
Yeah, it's the Everything That Rocks Awards, and we want to find out what you, the rock authorities, because you listen to WMMR, what you think about rock music and over the past year. And some of those tours have been going on for a while now, but they're the ones that were currently underway in 2025. So vote if you would, please. We'd appreciate it. We're going to take a quick break, come back in a second, and some bizarre file stories are set and ready to go for you. Sounds like what he refers to as not engaged, a group that includes 54% of survey respondents born after 1989. But while engagement is lowest among Gen Zers and younger millennials, it's been dropping across all age groups in recent years. So it's not...
It still seems kind of vague.
Yeah, and then on the other side, it says they're doing what they're getting paid for. Advocates say quiet quitting is all about maintaining a healthy work-life balance. People aren't going above and beyond. They're not bending over backwards for their employers anymore and sacrificing their mental and physical health.
Yeah.
They're doing what they're getting paid for. She says she wishes the trend had a different name because you're not quitting. You're taking care of yourself. You're coasting. You're carefully coasting. So it's the above and beyond thing kind of spells it a little bit.
Sure. Now, I think, I feel that we all go above and beyond, for this, because this is not a... that's our agreement. That's what we do. We want to do the best we can do to live up to our agreement with the audience. But I think at a certain level, especially if you want to get ahead, you need to take.
But but if you are ahead, if you're already ahead, and I think it has a lot to do with how your company treats you.
Yes.
If you work for a good company that takes care of you, you're more likely to go above and beyond.
Yes.
If you work for a company that does not take care of you, you're going to do the bare minimum.
No, I agree.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that'll only make sense to you guys, but recently there's been some requests of what I would call going above and way beyond.
Right.
And we've all
it's
ignored
like,
it.
come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
We're already working a lot, and so that happens in all kinds of businesses. We say, oh, by the way, you also need to do this now.
Right. Like, wait, what?
What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How about?
I quit.
Yeah. I quit. Hang on. Let me go to Larry because he's got an example of quietly quitting. Hi, Larry. Good morning.
Yo, you guys ever heard of Jerkmate?
You've ever heard of Jerkmate?
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate?
What's up, Larry?
Yo, how are you guys? I work for a very big, very corporate, and that's the one word that I think hasn't really come up in this conversation. Very corporate company.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, they were pretty good throughout the pandemic, and I stepped up, took the job above me, was waiting for basically somebody to open up so that the job title would open up, and I could kind of step into that. And when it did, they denied me my promotion and a raise. So now I'm just kind of freeloading until they figure out, it would cost them more money to find me and fire me than it would for me to just skirt under the rails. Kind of,
let me ask you.
So that's your version of quietly quitting. Okay.
Have you ever seen you've seen the movie Office Space?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Would that hold true to what you're talking about?
Except they're not fixing the glitch.
Yeah. Yeah. No. But I agree too. We happen to work for a company that is very supportive and really wants to be a participant in helping us realize our maximum capabilities.
I wonder though, and there's got to be like people out there who have had a job for a long time who like actually, because there's so many people in the workforce, don't actually have to do anything. They just go in, clock in or whatever.
Well,
kind of hang out.
Like the guys you see who work for the city who they've never shown up for like in years, never show up for work. And, go get the vehicle, go home. I think of Tom Hanks and Joe versus the volcano, Preston. That kind of job,
as mundane as it could possibly be.
No, but there's got to be coworkers who are not doing that, who are going to call that person out, or at least, you know what I mean? There's no way that can go on for years and years. Somebody's going to say something.
Yeah, we hear from so many people about how hard they work, and I appreciate that. But Casey made me think of something. Who listening now has the easiest job in the world?
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Well,
215-263 WMMR, because rarely do you hear people boasting about how easy their job is.
But the easiest job, or has a job where they really just they don't care, so they don't do much.
Maybe it's both.
You know what I mean? Because you were talking about us taking work home with us. Like, to me, yes, it is work. But if I'm sitting on my couch at home reading an article that we're going to talk about the next day, like, I don't really see that as work. I mean, it is. It's considered work. It's considered prep. But like for me,
you're not capping an oil fire.
Yeah, like I'm just at home reading.
Yeah, but it is all relative.
I see it as work. But I mean, and I probably do it differently than you do. I'm scouring all kinds of stuff. I'm printing things up. I edit.
You don't have a glass of wine and bonbons.
No, I categorize. I try to. I've got.
My feet are up. I'm like, I'm working.
Now, listen, it's not hard work. It's not physical hard labor. It's time consuming and
time consuming is what it is. Yeah, for sure. Do you at like your prep though? Sometimes are you like, oh God, I do not feel like doing this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. But then I'm like, get it done, do it, get it over with.
Well, also that's why sometimes too, like, because you do a lot of prep. Like, if I see stuff, if I see articles, I'll send it to you because I think that
I know
that's something that you could use and maybe a little less work for you.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And ultimately I've got to figure out if we're going to go to it or not. But man, there was a point I was going to make and I don't remember what
I kept talking.
That's okay.
Why don't you tell Kathy how much she turns you on?
No, that was
oh God.
That was not what I was.
Shut up. I quit so hard. I'm so quitted.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, let me go to some calls. Easy jobs. All right, we'll go to John. Hey, John, good morning.
Morning.
What's up, John?
So I work at a golf store in Wilmington, and it's probably the easiest job in the world. I just talk to people about golf all day.
And do you love what you do?
Oh, absolutely. I used to work in finance. When COVID hit, I found this job, luckily, and I've never been happier.
So, there's sometimes because you excel at a job, it has the feeling of being easy, and that's always the axiom, one of the axioms my father conveyed to me, which is do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
You're still working, but it's fulfilling.
Outside of the hours that we lead, I consider our job to be pretty damn easy.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm lucky as hell.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. What I don't love doing is getting up when we get up and doing that whole thing because it messes up the rest of your day. But I'm lucky that I can say, yeah, my job's, this is not something I dread, and I'm not going crazy from the amount of time I spend on it. The prep work is a little arduous, but I still love doing this job. So I'm not bragging.
No,
I'm just saying we're good at what we do.
Oh, well,
so therefore it makes it
this
that
advice
much easier.
Is part of the other great advice I've gotten. Listen, and I tell this to other people. If you do something you love, you're going to invest more time into it, even in the beginning stages. If you do that, and I think by sheer force, you will get good at something, and then hopefully the monetary compensation will come down the way. But I mean, that's all a chain of events. And that's the ultimate desire, is that you do something you love and you are paid well for it.
You know what I do love is mindless labor. And when I was getting ready for the bike ride for the Tour de Shore, I had all these team jerseys that were sent to me, and I needed to make sure that they were getting to the right people. So I was just like basically sorting and stuffing, and I had to do it for a couple of hours. And I loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
want to
I
work
just,
in retail now?
no, because I don't want to deal with people, right?
Yeah. You don't have to. You
I
can
work
get back
in a
early.
warehouse.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could do that. But
Work
like,
at an Amazon fulfillment plant.
I just threw headphones in. I stood here for like 2 hours, and I just stuffed names and cooling towels into these bags and.
I do like the organizing factor of things like that. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm actually volunteering at a nonprofit today, and we're putting together packages. So to me,
that's perfect for
yeah,
you.
Like I'm gonna make sure each package has two of this and one of that.
I love sometimes
if you get to put a little bow on it or something like that.
I can tie the bows.
the studio that I have in my room in my house in one of the rooms. I love. Oh, today I'm gonna rearrange the wires so that everything sits properly. Like that sort of. Yes, that's sort of where I can just check out and do that. I do love that kind of work as well.
You know what I was going to tell you guys back to? You mentioned the bad part of our job is getting up so early. That 2-week vacation. I know you're going to make fun of me, but I'm not kidding you. I'm dead serious. During that 2-week vacation, at the end of it, I swear to God, I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I was like, I look a little bit younger.
Oh my God, I'm beautiful.
Look at me.
Have I always glowed like this?
Listen, my
nipples are like erasers.
I did. I had color in my face.
Yeah.
I felt like my wrinkles weren't as bad. The bags under my eyes were gone.
So beautiful.
Did the gentleman stitch naturally appear?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I've gotten tighter.
It's gotten tighter and more moist.
Oh wow.
By the way, I know someone who got that.
Oh, really?
I thought that was just an urban legend.
Oh no, and it's a major. It's not a little. Oh, we're gonna put a little stitch in. No, it's like a major. Yeah.
I always thought that was an apocryphal.
It's basically like having a baby.
Wow, Kath, what is their first and last name?
I want to hear more about that. But I got all these callers on the
Yeah,
line.
no, it's
But
okay.
I want to hear
Talk
more
about
about
it.
that. Jennifer's on. Hi, Jennifer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Jennifer, you have an easy job?
Oh, I think it is right now.
Okay, share.
Are you doing it right
Yeah,
now?
I know. Seriously.
Yeah, she's a blacksmith.
No, I'm actually shopping at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right, can stop.
My day off.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I work at a casino as a sportsbook writer.
You work
I
as
write
a sports book what?
writer. I write tickets for sports bets.
Okay.
She writes tickets for sports books.
Or the Eagles,
Yeah.
but we're real slow at this time of the year.
Okay.
So I spend half of my day just staring at TV, watching sports.
Well, okay. Well, that's not bad. But what about the other half of the year when everything is kicked in? Is it very difficult?
It gets crazy when people are trying MetLife.
All right,
That's the
sorry.
hard part of it.
We're sorry to interrupt your shopping, Jennifer.
Yeah.
We'll let you get back to
Sounds
that.
like
but
she's
thank you for the
fighting a
call.
robot.
We appreciate it. All right, let me go next to Brandon. Hey, Brandon, good morning.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go. All right, you have an easy job, it says.
I'm a trash man.
Trash man.
How is that an easy job? That looks like hard labor to me, man.
You drive the truck.
A monkey can do my job.
I know, and I've known a few trash men in my life.
That love their job?
That love the job.
I agree.
That love the
I have
job.
as well.
Yeah.
I will say, anytime I see the guys going by my house, they're either like laughing or singing.
Right.
You've got a group that you work with. Listen, you know that it's got its dirty elements, but the trucks will do a lot of the work. But also, you're getting a bit of a workout yourself.
Yeah. How old are you, Brandon?
The only thing I can complain about is the weather.
Okay.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, a couple stories to pass along to you. A United Kingdom man owns a very unusual collection that has held a world record for more than 25 years. David Morgan and his largest collection of traffic cones.
Yay!
Has long been the talk of the town. When he verified his record in 2000, he had 137 traffic cones. So it's possible that he has more than now.
134, 135.
In 2007, there were reports that his collection had already grown to 500. And it said that he had about 2/3 of those types of traffic cones, that he had about 2/3 of all types of traffic cones that had ever been made.
Blimey, look at all these traffic cones I got.
But what sparked this unique love of traffic cones? Well, he said it's really
I'm ugly.
He said it's really interesting. There are so many different shapes, sizes, and colors, and the models are always changing. David, who worked for a plastics company that produced traffic cones, explained that he started his collection in 1986 when he was involved in a legal dispute with a rival manufacturer.
Happens a lot. If you get involved in a legal dispute, you start collecting road cones.
They were arguing over the design of a cone, and to prove his case, David scoured the country for different types of traffic cones so his designs could be compared, and he won the case.
And boy, do I catch hell for my pretend wife.
He said a competitor wanted to take us to court because they said we had copied their design, so I started collecting cones, and I haven't been able to stop. I'll find out where road works are going on and look for them, but the best ones are from more unusual places like village halls and from undertakers who always have different ones, and I look after them.
Undertakers use different road cones.
I guess so.
Yeah.
He said that he couldn't resist collecting cones everywhere he went, but that he'd never steal a cone because it was there as a safety measure. Instead, he'd speak with the foreman on the site and swap it with another cone from his collection. David's collection is made up of cones from around the world. Bet you didn't know I was going to go on this long about cones, did you? Having even picked up one from the airport while he was on his honeymoon in Corsica.
I've got to have that.
1988.
Look, she's a beauty.
David would often display his collection out in the garden, but did admit that they made mowing the lawn rather difficult.
Just don't talk to him about his traffic cones.
I really do. I'm very curious to see his collection now.
I'm sure you can find it online if you take a peek, Case. A social media trend in South Korea called the Poverty Challenge is making people angry. The trend, and you'll just love this, features wealthy people showing off their riches while joking about how poor they are.
It's going to be a hit.
They post photos of sports cars, designer clothes, and luxury homes alongside cheap items like instant noodles, and then joke about their hard life. One popular post showed a Ferrari with bags of instant ramen stacked on the hood. Another showed a room full of expensive art with a caption saying it was all they had. Singer and actor Kim Dong-wan spoke out against the trend, saying poverty shouldn't be a joke. He said that he grew up poor with a single mother in a basement apartment. Critics say the trend shows a growing gap between rich and poor.
Yeah.
And that people are losing touch with how hard life can be for those who struggle.
We talk about the Halloween costume from you. Hey, I'm a bum.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. A 41-year-old Texas high school teacher's year ended on a very bright note. James Ward and his family visited the Crater of Diamond State Park on December 30th when he found a 2.09 carat brown diamond.
Jeez.
Yeah. Ward's wife, Elizabeth, told park officials that he couldn't have done it without a little help from his iPhone's virtual assistant, Siri. When the daughter asked if there was a place in Texas or Arkansas where they could mine crystals, the family asked Siri for nearby locations. The state park was among the sites suggested.
Think of all the road cones I can buy.
With no set plans for the holidays, the family loaded up and drove 6 hours to Murfreesboro to begin their search. Due to wintry weather, they were only able to search for 4 hours. On their first day, it was cold. They considered going home, but their son convinced them to return, and that decision proved fruitful. Within 2 hours of the search, James Ward spotted a metallic-looking crystal in the soil. He said, I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was very different than everything else that I had found. Despite not knowing what he had found, Ward placed it in a paper bag, continued searching with the family. Before leaving, they stopped by the park's Diamond Discovery Center, and that's where the staff confirmed that Ward had found a 2.09 carat diamond. Wow.
Yeah.
I've always kind of wanted to go to one of these.
Right.
But I have a feeling after about an hour, I'd probably be tired of not finding anything.
These freaking people go in inclement weather, 4 hours one day.
Yeah.
And then when they ask the son, do you want to go back? He's probably sarcastic.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back.
When asked if he plans to sell or keep it, Ward said he had no idea. He said, I'll have to see how much it's worth first. I haven't seen any estimates on how much something like that would be worth, but pretty cool that he came across it. Yep. All right, and then we have this story. A fortune teller in Thailand took his prediction game a little too far when he stole a client's phone just to prove himself right. Police in Pattaya arrested 38-year-old Udomsmap Menageku.
I predict you will get your phone stolen.
Yeah, after he swiped a 19-year-old woman's iPhone when she was praying at a temple. Earlier that day, the woman had stopped to get her fortune read by the shabbily dressed man outside the temple. He warned her she would soon face bad luck and lose a valuable item soon, and then offered to prevent it for a fee.
Oh, man.
She declined. When her phone vanished during prayer, she remembered his prediction and confronted him. He denied it, even describing what a thief looked like, or what the person who took it looked like. But bystanders searched his belongings and found her phone hidden in a face mask box. He begged her not to call the police, but she did anyway.
She did.
So.
I predict you're going to jail.
That's, oh my God, I hope she said that to him. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the Bizarre File for you this morning. All right, we will take a break. We'll return shortly, and we got some stuff to give away. In fact, we're going to give away tickets to see 3 Days Grace coming up at the Hard Rock for the lesson question. We'll get to trash and music news. Stay there. We'll be right back.
Barbecue 2026, Saturday, May 9th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, featuring Godsmack, Alice Cooper, The Hooters, Everclear, plus Des Rocks, Cami Kehoe, Lilac, our local Shots opener, The Circus Hearts, and the Preston and Steve Side Stage with live band karaoke with Sidearm. It's always an all-day party, so don't miss out. Early bird tickets start at just $35 to sit your ass in the grass. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com from 93.3 WMMR. Everything that rocks.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay.
30. Man, I see those
Why
guys
not?
lifting some really heavy trash cans. I'm like, no way, dude.
Brandon, do you need to work out outside your job? Your job is a workout, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
But I also am able to work outside my job because I'll probably be done within the next hour.
Oh, there you go, man.
All right, you get done early. What time you get up in the morning?
We start work at 7. I get up at 6.
All right.
Okay. That's not too bad at all, man.
All right, so Brandon considers it an easy job.
Yeah.
I would consider that a difficult manual labor gig, but he thinks it's one of the easiest jobs.
I wonder how they pick the case, to your point. Do they go on rotation on who drives the truck? Because the dude who's driving the truck always has kind of the
That's the dude.
easier
Yeah,
gig.
That's a good
gig,
question. Let me go to Kenny. Hey, Kenny.
It's taken me all this time to realize, but I love you.
I love you. I love you.
All right, Kenny, what's your easy job?
Well, I'm not there anymore, unfortunately. I had to move on, but I was a guard at the old Byberry buildings. After
the asylum.
Were abandoned. We were all over the place, and it couldn't have been any more of an easy job. We chilled in the trailer for about 7.5 hours out of the 8-hour shift. The boss said basically just take a drive around every once in a while. Here's a TV. You can hook up your video games, and we did.
my God.
I mean, it was an amazing
See,
job.
but I would, but that's for me. That would not be an easy job. That would be so boring that I would.
Because you're looking for busy work to kill time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could honestly get another job while doing that job.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you could find a job that you could, like, work, online job, you could work from home.
Kenny, quick question. Did you ever see anything of the paranormal?
How much time you got?
Wow. Are those buildings completely gone now?
There's some that still exist. There's a self-help, like a halfway house, and there's a bank or something that uses.
Okay.
Do the tunnels still exist?
Flat.
Do the tunnels still exist?
No, they had to take them up too when they knocked it all down and everything.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
wanted
Kenny.
to go there.
What asylum was it?
It was Byberry?
Byberry.
Where was
it
that?
Northeast Philly.
Okay.
And they used to do like the haunted houses and stuff like that early in the day, and then I don't know if it was not safe
like
or whatever, but they completely shut it down.
It's very similar to the one, and I'm having a brain, Penhurst.
Penhurst, yeah.
All right. Hang on. Let me go to Sam. We're talking about people who have the easiest job. Hi, Sam. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Good. What's up? What's up, buddy?
I mean, I really don't have an easy job, but I kind of find it easy because I like it a lot.
Okay.
I work at a auto detail shop in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
See, I think that would be a good, like,
that would be cleaning something all day
cleaning,
long.
getting something looking sharp, and it's sort of an expression for you, correct, Sam? I mean, you're right.
Yeah, I take pride in my work, but some days I'll be delivering cars a lot. I'll go to like the Maserati dealership, drop off a Maserati, whatever. Like I get to drive some pretty cool cars, which also adds to.
Oh, that's cool.
No, that is cool. I dig that.
All right, so this isn't your shop that you own. You work there?
No, yeah. I just work there. I'm also currently in college, so it's like kind of like a part-time kind of thing.
I think that's great. Yeah,
because I've talked to
Thanks, Sam.
Chuck down the hall, and he's like, when I retire, he's like, he would love to open his own auto detailing, not shop, but like he would come to your house. And like you're like, dude, I could do like one car a day, and like that would be it. You know what I mean? Because you make a decent amount of money.
There was a service that we had come, and then they asked. They were a client here at the station for a while.
Yeah.
And they did a pretty decent job. I think.
Yeah, you can make a couple $100.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And knocking out one a day or every other day if you just wanted to keep yourself busy.
Yeah, my wife has had this guy come to our house. I just
How you doing, baby?
I know, and he just sets up shop in the driveway and
to clean your car.
Yeah, not to clean her
clean your
out.
clock.
But yeah, I mean, he
Gonna buff your ass.
probably does like one car a day. A couple of $100 a pop. Like yeah, it's a decent living. Yeah.
Okay. I'll go to Joe next. Hey, Joe. Good morning.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? What's up, Joe?
Hey, so I take care of dogs for a living.
Are you like a dog walker?
Yeah,
Dog sitter?
At your house, or you can come bring them to my house,
Yeah.
and it's awesome.
And you consider it to be an easy job?
Yeah. Well, all you're doing is taking the dogs for a walk here and there and just playing with them, and then the kids help out. So.
By the way, there's no reason to be embarrassed if you have an easy job.
No.
I think you win.
You're lucky.
I think it's a great job.
Yeah.
And so you're obviously an animal person to begin with, and so how would you make your own hours?
Well, yeah, basically, but technically, I work 24/7. I'm always.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right.
Like right now, I have a puppy with me. I asked the owner if it was okay if I brought him to the beach and the in Ocean City, and the beach is paying for itself basically right now.
Oh, that's cool. Having puppies wouldn't be too bad.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Hang on. I want to go to Mark, who's been a trash man for 28 years. He's got a different take on it. Hi, Mark. Good morning.
Hey, guys, let me tell you something. I'm going to debunk that guy's theory right off the bat. I guarantee he doesn't work for a major trash corporation because front-end guys, which I've been doing for 20 years now, go in at about 2:30 to 3. I'm fortunate enough that I can come in at 5, and that's considered banker's hours in the trash industry. He's going in at 7 o'clock in the morning and only working till 11. He probably works for a county that's picking up parks and recreations. I did residential for 7 years. It is one of the toughest jobs there is. I'm in front end now. I'm in an air-conditioned, high-tech truck. I work for one of the most major trash corporations in the world. Our trucks are high-tech. They're nice. They're comfortable. They're ergonomic for the driver. I have AC. I get out about 20 times to open gate, pull a couple cans out. Mine is probably the easiest in the industry, but maybe takes the most driving skill. I back up over 130 times a day. Let me tell you something. I stink when I go home, and my wife won't let me near her until I take a shower. She won't let me near her anyway. I've been married 30 years. That's a different story. Bottom line is, one of the worst jobs as far as fatalities and one of the most difficult jobs physically and, believe it or not, mentally, because you are not done until you pick up that last can. The good news is you can eat all you want out of the hopper. If that's
Oh, my God.
I love this guy.
Wow, man.
Mark.
Well, you paid your
he
dues.
hung up on us. He hung up. I wanted to get more from Mark.
Oh, he's the best.
Wow. Okay.
There is something, though, bizarrely, at least from our angle, Casey, like fraternal and romantic about that. You're out, you're different locations. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? Is it working in trash?
Yeah.
As a sanitary?
I don't know. As a sanitary napkin.
God, but the smell.
I know.
The stuff those guys smell, and I know they're immune to it by now, but it's just disgusting.
Just the smell alone makes your job not easy.
I was walking down the street in Cape May a couple of weeks ago, and it was
singing "Do What Diddy."
I was not. I was holding my breath, Steve, because it smelled so bad because there was some rotten trash.
Really?
So behind one of the houses, but it permeated for like at least a half of a block. And then when I was walking back, I'm like, well, I'm going to walk on the other side of the street, and it was just as bad on the other side of the street.
It made it across the street.
Let's see who's been on hold for a long time because we got to wrap this up in just a second. Let me go to Kristen. Hi, Kristen. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, Kristen?
So I don't have an easy job. I'm a dog groomer. I get mauled on a daily basis. But I love it to death. My husband, on the other hand, he works in the IT department in a library.
Yeah.
This man spends 90% of the time watching YouTube, sending me memes. He brings, he's like, oh, I'm watching Terminator. I'm like, you found it online? No, I brought it from home.
He's bringing his own movies. I knew I would need something to watch. I didn't do anything here.
So he's got it. So what does he basically update the library's website or just make sure everything's running?
So he helps with that, but he's in the computer lab, so he's got to help anyone who needs help with like any computer assistance. And he's like, from 10 to 3, I have people. Before that and after that, I don't. And he works 9 to 5. Mondays he does 1 to 9, but the best part is, twice a month, they then pay him to shut down the computer lab to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, man.
That's an easy job.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Don't come home and tired. Like, you have a 5-month-old. Help.
Help. Please.
You're helping.
Thank you, Kristen.
We went whitewater rafting earlier this summer, and we were talking to some of the guides that were with us, and they were all college kids, which I didn't know. This was in Jim Thorpe. They're college kids, but from all over the country, not just in our area.
I wonder if the 3 days guys ever get together and hang out for 3 days. I mean, you would have to, right? If I would imagine the rule is if they ever encounter each other, it has to be for 3 days.
They should have a 3 days concert.
Yeah.
3 days weekend concert. Wait, 3 day?
A 3-day weekend concert?
Yes.
Like an extended weekend for 3 Days Grace and 3 Doors Down? I think that's perfect. Are there any other 3 bands that I'm not thinking of?
Seven Mary 3.
Yeah. That could work too. I don't know. Oh, Ryan, of course, Ryan knows.
3 Dog Night we got.
3 Dog Night!
Yeah.
I think there's only one guy still alive, but...
That's fine, he's invited.
All right. Let's see. What are we doing now? Marissa found 311.
Yeah.
There's another one. Third Eye Blind, kinda.
The Threedles.
The Threedles.
Oh, 3-6 Mafia.
3-6 Mafia. Wait, who was that?
Rap band, yeah.
But wasn't there? Oh no, I was saying. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Trenchcoat Mafia. Those are the guys that killed everybody in Columbine, Colorado.
Yeah, different.
Wrong. Different
bad concert.
Yeah. Different bad concert.
I didn't like that concert.
Different group. All right.
38 special.
30. Yeah, now we're getting on to those straight up just threes. All right. So let's go to the lesson question. And we are going to give away those tickets to see 3 Days Grace. The show's going to be Friday, February 27th at the Hard Rock in AC at the Addis Arena. Here's a question that we have for you. When we were speaking with Derrick Pitts earlier this morning, what should NASA use to fund the mission to Mars? It involves viewing. It involves available content.
Right.
All right. What should NASA use to fund the mission to Mars? Let's see if you know the answer to that. If you heard the conversation, 610-660-9333 is the number. And while you're calling, we'll get into the trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, brought to you by Acme Markets. Hungry and in a hurry. Acme's flash grocery delivery or pickup gets you fresh groceries in 30 minutes or less. Fast, fresh, right to your door. Acme, fresh foods, local flavors. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Preston, frightening moment at the UFC 324 on Friday when fighter Cameron Smotherman collapsed right after weigh-in. It's the first time in history that the UFC has awarded a knockout to a scale.
Yeah.
Wow. Guy Hovis, a singer best known for his multiple appearances on The Lawrence Welk Show, has died at the age of 84. Hovis gained notoriety early on with his rendition of the song Buttercup Doodlebug, and then later on during his darker period with Gonna Strangle a Bitch.
Oh, my God.
And then finally, Milo Ventimiglia announcing on Instagram that he and his wife, Jara, have a second child on the way. Ventimiglia writes, quote, "And so another miracle has begun with me busting a nut."
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And that's your holiday present.
I have a question. Is Buttercup Doodlebug? You made. I was going to say, man, if there's a song called Buttercup Doodlebug,
I
need to hear it now.
I had to have the contrast with the.
I totally get it, but it sounded like something from that era. That would have been legit.
Lawrence, yeah. I actually legitimately looked for songs performed on the Lawrence Welk Show.
Okay.
And nothing was as good as Buttercup Doodlebug.
That's a good name for a band, too. Buttercup Noodlebug. Doodlebug? Doodlebug.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Doodlebug.
All right, let's see if we can get an answer to the question. What should NASA use to fund the mission to Mars? 610-660-9333. And it is Adam who gets first shot at it. Adam, you're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Oh, what's happening?
We're tasting more, it's encore.
There it is. All right, Joe. All right, Adam. What should NASA use to fund the mission to Mars?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans is right. Yep. Hang on, man. We got your tickets to see 3 Days Grace, February 27th, Hard Rock, live at Edis Arena, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. Tickets are on sale now at hardrockac.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Buttercup Doodlebug. All right. Guitarist Tony Iommi is using his fame and metal voice for a good cause. The longtime Black Sabbath guitarist has raised funds for a cancer charity in his hometown of Birmingham, England. Iommi donated a guitar to Birmingham-based Heartlands Hospital charity and helped raise more than $60,000 towards their campaign to open a new hematology and oncology center at the hospital. The person who bought the guitar lives in the United States. The gift is personal for Iommi. He is a cancer survivor, diagnosed with lymphoma in 2012 and announced that he was cancer-free in August of 2016. So he was happy to donate one of his guitars.
Yeah, that's cool.
For the cause, which is great. Megadeth's 17th studio album has climbed to the top spot on top of the album chart. The self-titled record marks the last studio album from the thrash metal band that Dave Mustaine started in 1983. And a bonus track actually features a reworked version of Ride the Lightning. Of course, he co-wrote that with James Hetfield, Cliff Burton, and Lars Ulrich. The song was the title track from their 1984 album. The band released an expanded edition with an exclusive track called Nobody's Hero. Fans can download the bonus song until midnight on Thursday, January 29th. Let's go to our metalhead, Ryan Shuttleworth. Are you a Megadeth fan?
I like Megadeth. I really do. I think the Metallica cover, which Dave wrote on, is a little, too much. Like
too much.
He has this whole thing. It's like, they kicked me out of the band, and he's
He's had that forever. He's still,
and then he's like, oh, well, I want to extend the bridge, and then it's stuff like this. So, remarkable guitar player, remarkable talent.
Yeah.
Will this be the last? Who the hell knows? But enjoyable, great musicians, great writing, and great live.
Do you have the new album?
I have not had a chance to dive into it
Okay.
yet. I will be, though.
It has Buttercup Doodlebug on it.
Yeah.
That I would pray for, yes.
So Mustaine said that Nobody's Hero was the first song that we worked on during the session. Everything we'd written up to that point had to fight for a place on the record. He said it's funny because it didn't end up, the first song we worked on during the session, which is funny because it didn't end up on the album. And then he said everything we've written up until that point had to fight for a place on the record. The group has sold 50 million records worldwide. They've won a Grammy Award and received 12 other nominations. The band heads to Canada next month with Anthrax and Exodus supporting them. And starting in August, the group will serve as guests on Iron Maiden's Run for Your Lives World Tour.
Good to see these guys still chugging along.
Yeah, but they're going to wrap it up. That's going to be it.
Speaking of that, I sent you guys out the video of Iggy Pop.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you didn't get it? I sent it to some of you guys. I thought I sent it to the group. It's Iggy Pop dancing with his shirt off at a recent concert.
How old was he? 90?
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. Even a T-shirt without sleeves, just something.
Yeah, right.
Really quick, Brent Porsche actually spoke to Dave Mustaine about this new record. That interview up at WMMR.com.
Oh, that's great.
Wonderful. All right. Papa Roach premiered a new track, Wake Up Calling, on January 19th on YouTube. The band played it during a surprise acoustic set at the Whiskey Jam in Nashville. The band posted the release date for the full version. Wake Up Calling, actually, and the reason I bring this up, drops today, and it came out at midnight. The group stripped things down for an acoustic version at the venue, which country star Derrick Pitts runs, and they also performed acoustic takes on Scars and Last Resort, of course, 2 massive hits from their catalog. This single is Papa Roach's third piece of new content since 2022. Last January, Papa Roach returned with Even If It Kills Me. Last summer brought Brain Dead, which featured guitarist guest vocals from Toby Morse of H2O, and we played that song earlier this morning. And then one last thing, it's the Wmmammys, our answer to the Grammys. We call it the Everything That Rocks Awards.
Whammy!
And we are looking for you to participate in this, and we have 4 categories for you to pick the winners. We had the Breakout Rock Artist of the Year, we had the Rock Song of the Year, and now we are voting on the Rock Tour of the Year. So for the list of nominees, you can go to PrestonandSteve.com and click on the band that you think deserves the honor, and we'll find out if they win the Whammy or not. And it just takes a moment. We have today and then tomorrow, and then that's it. And then Friday, we're going to reveal.
It'll be very interesting to reveal the winners.
Yeah.
Whammy!
All right, that's it. That's what I have in music news for you this morning. We will take a final break and come back in a second. Our good buddy Matt Cord will be here in just a moment, so stay with us.
Yep. And she was basically telling us that they camp out for the summer.
Wow.
And she said it's one of the greatest, easiest jobs.
I'll never forget this gal in Maine. She was our whitewater raft guide. Her name was Wiggy. She was awesome. And same thing. Loved her job. Travels all over the place. Goes to different, depending on the season. You know, she'll head out west when it's warmer, and then head east. And just loved the job.
One of Jace's surf instructors, too. She goes to Hawaii for the winters and then comes to Ocean City for the summers.
A guy who would teach surfing in Costa Rica in the winter, he would be a snowboard instructor in Colorado in the wintertime, and in the summertime he would go to Costa Rica and teach surfing. I'm like, damn, man.
Did he die in a big wave off Australia? Or is that
that was boating. That was after the bank robbery, and we don't talk about that. Yeah.
No, I mean it's a legit career. The guy who ran our thing in the Grand Canyon, that's what he does from May to September, and he majored in that. He found a college and basically majored in adventure activities.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right, one last call, then we got to take a break. It is Jeremy we're going to go to. Hi, Jeremy. Good morning.
You guys rock.
Jeremy, it says here you got an easy job. What is it?
Dude, I coalesce the vapors of IT security maybe 3 hours a week, and I work 40 hours a week.
So you're actually working for 3 hours of your 40-hour work week.
Not even working. I'm literally just talking to somebody else in a meeting about an issue and tell them what to do and how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you feel mildly guilty that you make money doing that, or are you okay with it?
Completely. I honestly Netflix and spreadsheets.
Netflix and spreadsheets.
Dude, well, you listen
Good
to
for
what
you.
Preston said earlier. You win.
Yeah.
You know? That's it. You got a job, and you're obviously providing what your bosses need you to provide, or else you wouldn't be there.
Yeah,
So there you go.
I was talking to my friend Joey Lee the other day in the parking lot of Wawa, and I said, if I ever complain about my job, just slap me in the face, because this is what I do for a living. Yeah. I push buttons like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyhow, thank you guys. And quietly quitting. I was not familiar with that term.
No.
And it essentially means just doing what needs to be done and only that, and not going above and beyond. My buddy Steve texted and said, quietly quitting equals lazy F. But Steve, my buddy, he drags so much of his work home and shouldn't be doing that much work.
He's a booker at Chippendales, right?
He gets all the guys. Yeah, exactly. But anyhow, hopefully you enjoy your job. You enjoy your job, then you're in a good position. If not, I hope something comes along that you really want to do.
Yeah.
We need to take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we'll get to the bizarre file. It's on the way next. Stay there. I'm starting to feel the buzz of excitement in the studio.
Oh, yeah.
This morning, and the excitement that I have is that something will probably go wrong. So
Yes, absolutely.
and
it's probably something. It's probably an exposed wire is what's feeling that buzz.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I also realized as we were getting prepared for this morning, I'm like, this is the fourth time we've done this competition. We should probably have some type of official recorded intro. We don't have one of those yet.
No.
So Steve is going to be doing it live for us this morning. So Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
It is time for
the battle of the self-proclaimed experts.
All right, and it is the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia version of this that we are doing.
If you stop and think about this, so we've done Harry Potter, which is one of probably the most elaborate of the collections of work that you would have to be aware of. This is right up there.
Oh, it's got to be beyond. If you think about the hours of programming,
good
from
point.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's got to eclipse the.
It's amazing.
The Harry Potter universe. So we reached out to our listening audience and we asked for you to tell us why you should be in our contest, and we got, as we figured, loads and loads and loads of great responses.
Right.
And they were really hard to narrow down, but we had to do it. And it's the only way to filter through and just find some people that we think might be good competitors. And we can't do a battle royale with everybody and then narrow it down and bracket it down to 2 people. So this is how we do it.
Knowledge and passion. That's what we were looking for.
All right. And we have 2 people in the studio, and I'm going to read the emails. Some of them are kind of long, so I'm going to read portions of the emails
Reader's Digest version
that were sent in. This one first says, Gadzooks Gang, as a stakeholder in kitten mittens and current student studying bird law at Patrick's Pub University, it's an honor to place my name in contention for this self-proclaimed expertise. 15 seasons and counting of Sunny content directly linked to my brain over the last 17 years have allowed my inner day man to shine through and have it be a huge piece of who I am, my personality, and quotes, situations I directly tie into my everyday life. I am incredibly thankful for what the gang has been able to create and produce for us over the years, and I hope my obnoxious ability to have that content as part of who I am win me the title. On top of that, the Preston Steve Show has been my personal inspiration for wanting to work in radio/broadcasting, attempts at the difficult job front over the years of on top of recent historical events have led me away a bit, but the dream constantly remains whenever the frequency turns to 93.3. Hope to rid myself of all safety nets. Blending 2 of my passions is a dream, and thankful for the opportunity from you all. But anyway, see you later, jabronis. Cool word. Signed, the Golden God, who is currently untethered and whose rage has no bounds at all, James Bailey. Is here this morning. Good morning, James.
I just wanted to make sure I could perform a successful ocular pat down prior to us starting here.
Yes.
Okay. All safe. You guys are all checked.
All right, thank you.
Thank good.
He's wearing his goggles.
All right.
We are good to go. All
We're all
right.
good. It's a pleasure to be here, guys. I mean, like a literal dream to be sitting here talking to you guys. So thank you.
That's awesome.
It is our pleasure, and thank you for all of your enthusiasm. We appreciate that. All right, and our next contestant sent in the following email. It said, you know what? Let me kick down a little thing to you that our founding fathers kicked down to me. And it goes, don't tread on me. And right now, if you guys don't pick me for this contest, you'll be treading all over me. If I'm selected, and when I do eventually win, I'm going to peak so hard that everybody in Philadelphia is going to feel it. If I'm unfortunately passed over as the self-proclaimed expert, I'll get all in your faces and point out your faults. But after I win, I'm relaxing. I'm getting blackout drunk, and you're leaving me alone. But Kathy, just a heads up, I'll give you $50 if you drink soup out of my shoe and take your top off.
That's a good deal.
I'm sorry, Kathy.
She's done it for less.
What color, by the way?
Thanks.
It's a lengthy email. I'm not going to get to all of it, but he was born and raised in South Jersey, graduated from Rowan University, a staff sergeant in the National Army Guard. Please welcome Alex Crespo.
Hey.
Thanks for having me.
Morning, Alex. Happy to have you here. Thanks for being
Yeah,
on
this
board.
is awesome. Appreciate it. And again, sorry, Kath.
Listen, this is the way things are going to work with Battle of the So-Called Experts. Oh, I'm sorry. With
Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts.
All right, this is the way it's going to work. We're going to have 3 rounds of questions. Each round is going to be a different level of difficulty. Obviously, we'll start with the easier questions, move on to medium, and then we will get to the hard questions. The first round, questions are worth 1 point each.
1 point.
The second round, questions are worth 2 points each.
2 points.
And in the third round, where the scores can really change, it's 5 points.
5 points.
Now, if we find ourselves in the event event of a tie.
A tie.
Stop.
We do have a tiebreaker question that will determine our winner. And I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, yes.
Sarah Marshall.
What?
Oh, forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, forgetting Sarah Marshall.
One of my
So, as I ask the question, either one of you can buzz in at any time. Now, if you buzz in before I finish with the question, I'm going to stop where I am. You'll have to answer the question at that point. There may be more to it that you miss out on, but if you're feeling strong, you can go for it. Now, if you do get it incorrect when you interrupt me, I will pose the rest of the question to your competitor, and they will get to hear the entire clue and then give us an answer.
Yes.
So they might have an advantage. That's up to you. That's where a little strategy comes into play. We need to test out our buzzers to see what they sound like. So let's go. Alex, if you could hit your button.
Oh!
That will mean that Alex has buzzed in first.
That's great.
And James, could you hit yours?
Hey!
All right. When you hear that, that's James, and he will get to answer the question. And that's how things work. We have our podiums set up here in the studio. If you're streaming on YouTube, you'll be able to see all of this live. Nick is going to be our scorekeeper. Nick, you all set?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't have your mic on.
This one? There we go. All right.
Mike wasn't on.
All right. So we are going to get this underway. Let's begin with round number 1. Gentlemen, grab your signaling buttons. And by the way, I need to compliment them on their T-shirts. They are wearing It's Always Sunny centric shirts. We have the Wednesday morning. Now we can say it's almost Thursday, I think, at the end of the program, right?
Yeah, I usually morph into No Sad Bro at about 8 o'clock on Thursday morning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thursday morning.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. So you can put yourself mentally where you want to be.
Thursday evening has become one of my favorite evenings.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I've started to feel that too.
Right.
Which is a good thing. Today's been fun. I'd like to thank everybody who called in this morning, was part of the program. Thanks to our friends Mike and Alex over at Fox Good Day. We had a little snafu, and then we got it figured out, and then we had a little chit-chat with those guys. And then we had a nice long conversation with our good friend Derrick Pitts, chief astronomer at the Fells Planetarium at the Franklin Institute, talking about the Artemis II launch coming up within the next couple weeks.
And apparently other people besides us found it interesting.
Yeah, a
Getting
couple
some
people
feedback.
did. Yeah.
We knew it was, we were geeking out, but it's so cool.
Matt, do you like that stuff at all? Like space talk and...
Not really.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not your thing? Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah, it's not for everybody, yeah.
What about Jack?
My dad, he was all over that stuff.
I mean, he worked at Boeing, right?
Yeah, he was an engineer, yeah.
Yeah, the Osprey was a big
his
project
thing.
of this.
It's on his gravestone.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It's just a picture of the Osprey.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he worked for Bell Aerospace, and he worked for Lockheed, and
it's cool stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you
Bell,
what.
man, they're the guys that broke the sound barrier.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was driving down 95 one day, and this isn't that long ago, about a year ago, and I was just past the airport, headed south, and I saw an Osprey take off from the Boeing
Isn't it
plant.
cool?
Dude, I mean, at first I was a little scared. I was like, are we under attack? Like, what the hell? You don't normally see those.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one in person except for that day. It's impressive.
They're bigger
tell
than
you.
you think they are.
Yeah, we were down the shore maybe like a year after my dad passed, and we were like looking in the ocean, and all of a sudden, like 3 of them flew over, and we're like, a sign.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
3
A
in
message from
unison.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my God, we're trying to take pictures and film, there's the Osprey.
One of the best afternoons of my life was driving around. Claire and I were doing stuff in Jersey. I forget exactly what we were running some errands. And it was while the air show was going on or something was going on. But we're seeing all sorts of cool military, aircraft flying overhead. It was amazing, and one of them was an Osprey.
Do any of you guys play the game Sky Cards?
No, what is
I think
that?
you would love it. It's an app, and it actually shows you all the planes that are flying right above you.
Okay.
And it gives you a radius, and you can click on them, and then it shoots to another screen, and there's just a plane like flying, and you have to catch it in a little box. And that's how you score points, but then it gives you all of the information about the plane that's flying
kind of
above you.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can like look around the world at planes. You can only catch the ones in your vicinity unless you buy other apps.
So
and stuff like
you're
that,
basically
but,
collecting the planes that you've seen.
the planes around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know about this? That doesn't seem like your thing.
Matt's obsessed with it.
Oh, really?
Obsessed. Yeah.
I got to try that out.
Yeah, I thought you guys would like that.
Nice, man. Matt, should we do the letter?
Yeah, let's do the letter.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
O, as in ocean.
All right, and we now have two more to go, and we're going to give away a pair of tickets as MMR rocks Bert Kreischer, along with an overnight stay, and that'll come with $200 food and beverage credit, and the show is Saturday, April 4th at Ovation Hall, Ocean Casino and Resort. You can get your tickets today at theoceanac.com. What you got in store for us?
Well, we got lame ass trivia, more tickets for the barbecue. That's coming up at 11:40. And we'll have workforce blocks today of the Smashing Pumpkins, Aerosmith, and the band live.
Nice.
And our vinyl cut of the day, Commander Cody.
Oh, wow. What is that?
You know who Commander Cody is?
No,
that song, Hot Rod Lincoln.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I knew you know the song.
I love that song. I didn't know Commander Cody.
Drink if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln.
I love that
Yeah.
song.
So, we got that.
Okay. I assume you're going to play Hot Rod Lincoln then?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
It's a double. All the songs are about, like, driving,
Yeah.
It's funny. Rock the Boogie and Too Much Fun and 18 Wheels. Yeah, Hot Rod Lincoln's on
Is
there.
Butterscotch Doodlebug on there?
It's the live version.
When you left WPLT, did they have any records left?
Another one from my college. They're still in business, I think. I'm probably not allowed back there. Actually, my roommate sold the records.
Okay.
Yeah, he came in the station one day.
And where was this? Where's
in Plattsburgh
WPLT?
State, my college radio, where I was Matt Helm. That was my DJ name.
Matt Helm.
Matt Helm
was
Like
an
Dean
agent,
Martin.
secret agent.
Like
Matt Helm,
a goofy James Bond played by Dean Martin.
All right, so WPLT 106.3 King Country.
No.
FM radio station. So that's not it.
No, we were
this is in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were Burlington, Plattsburgh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, Matt's got you covered. Everything you need today. Real quick, I want to thank Marissa. There was a texter that just texted in and said, hey, rockin' Preston and Steve and MMR driving my semi through Preston's hometown of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Hey.
Wow. Well, thank you for using the app. We appreciate that. And go by Riverbend West. That's my old neighborhood. And see with the Preston and Steve.
Is that where you would flex?
I would, in front of the neighborhood, I would stand on a pedestal and flex as the cars drove by. That's what I did. Oh, my God. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Preston Steve Show is brought to you today by Duncan. The Preston Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Faulkner Buick GMC in Trevo. So you can get a great deal on your next vehicle at Faulkner Buick. GMC.com to be sure. Tomorrow on the program should be pretty cool. We have director Rick Roman Waugh joining us. He did the Greenland movies.
Yeah.
And this current movie is called
Shelter, yeah.
The Shelter.
With
that's right.
Jason Statham, right?
Yeah. So he's going to be checking in with us tomorrow, and we'll have many other things to talk about and do. That is it. We are done. Rage on and have yourself a great day in the morning, friend. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.